At night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. What keeps you up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. Yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. You got me like, oh yeah. I think that we've all had enough. They know that we're calling it wrong. Hey, it's too late to try to go contain it. A generation fueled by creation. We live lives on a small screen nation. We control the airwaves, no negotiation. I refuse to think we need saving. Something good will come from creation. And when we think that the world is too anxious, we'll adapt, evolve, survive, and save it. What keeps you up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. What keeps you up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. Yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. You got me like, oh yeah. I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong.
Oh, look at me. I'm retarded. I'm a globe.
The whole system is designed to disconnect you from your intuition. Why? Disconnected people are easy to manipulate. Everything from sunscreen to politics to the food industry. It's all designed to disconnect and manipulate you. We are in the middle of a war right now, but it's not a traditional war. It's a war on consciousness. It's a war on freedom. This is the time to listen, not to the news. No, your intuition, your gut, your heart. Love is the greatest weapon against darkness. How do you love more? You begin by loving yourself. How do you love yourself? You listen to the messages your body is telling you.
I'm scared, Dad.
Do you trust me, son?
Yes.
Come on, son. Rule number 1, never trust anybody.
All right. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Sovereign Soul Unchained Mind, coming to you 251 miles above your imagination in this IT nightmare we call the International Fake Station. I'm up here with my good friend and co-pilot, Something Wong. He is here tonight. He's cooking up noodles. He's loading up bongs, and he's keeping us flying straight and level across this beautiful plane that we exist on, God's creation. Wonderful, wonderful stuff. Who do we got over here? The Calvary's coming, y'all. Tomorrow. That's it. Donald Trump and the white hats are going to come and save us from the swamp or something. That's what they're telling us, boy. We got all the good shit he's promising to do and some other fun stuff here. Holy shit, who do we got here tonight? We got OA is with us. Stacy Jones. Joyce B is with us. Cylon Killer. That'd be cool to kill those things too. Cyclone Killer. Chilling. We got Ella Taylor here with us. Roger Ledwell. What's happening, my man? Shannon Emerson. KB Tools is here. Eldon Bean. Derek Nelson. Carrie Skates. Mojo. What's happening? Mr. Mojo Rising is in the house. DJ Spin. El Greco. One more quarter. Who else we got in here? LJ. Let's see who we coming up to. Mental Pancakes. I don't know why. That's kind of a cool name. That would be a good band name. It's better than my other band name, Barbed Wire Grudge Fuck. It was kind of a heavy metal band, but you gotta just kind of go with it. Justin Johnson is with us. Marcy Chan. Oh my goodness, all these good people and people still rolling in. We're up to 78 over here, and we're looking over at Rumble. Who do we got? Nobody. 2 people watching. That's all right. We like to have that because if something gets ruined here on YouTube, it's still up over there. So I was watching another stream earlier, and I ran across this, which I thought was pretty clever. Let me go ahead and share this with you all. Let me go up here, bring this up. This was pretty good. Anyway.
He was the star in the first flat Earth mockumentary on Netflix called Behind the Curve. Able to find the curvature of the Earth in just 400 yards.
Interesting.
I don't believe in Christianity. Jesus Christ can suck my... My wife has some ideas. She thinks that I should summon Satan. She thinks that people can work with the devil. And she said, what you need to do is you need to talk to Satan.
Now he's back. Coming in 2025, the sequence mockumentary Behind the Curve 2. The 24-hour sun in Antarctica. Never before seen in over 140 years of Antarctica exploration. But for the first time since heliocentrism was introduced 500 years ago, the 24-hour sun in Antarctica will be filmed by former CBS assistant manager and now YouTube vlogger Duran Campanella. Who needs scholars, explorers, scientists, academics, when former CBS assistant manager and now YouTuber can go to Antarctica and film the never-before-seen 24-hour sun in Antarctica? Sponsored by anti-flat earther disguised as Pastor Will Duffy, who claimed to only have heard of flat Earth in late 2021.
In the later part of 2021, I was turned on to flat Earth.
But in fact, had worked with anti-flat Earth pastor Bob Enyart since 2015.
I was fortunate enough to spend 6 days a week with Bob for 5 straight years. I worked full-time Monday through Friday for Bob Enyart Live.
Enyart started attacking flat Earth in 2018.
I'm Bob Enyart. We've got a crowdfunding project to launch a flat earther into space. We've got it. I mean, you've heard of the flat Earth movement. Well, many people across the Western Hemisphere are falling for the flat Earth movement.
Behind the Curve 2, the Antarctic chapter. Coming in 2025.
So I don't know who put that together. He didn't say, I don't think. And if he did, I didn't catch it. It was on the Eddie Banjo's live just a little while ago. I happened to catch that. I turned it on. I was like, what? And I saw that trailer. I was like, oh my God, that is like a total fucking trailer. That is funny as hell. So I'm not sure who put it out. I'm sure you'll end up seeing it somewhere else around too. That's where I first saw it. I wish I did. I was looking around to see if I could find it. And I even did a search Behind the Curve 2.0, nothing. So I don't know. It'll come out, I guess. Maybe let me see if he put a description. I don't believe he did. Let me see. No, I don't know. I don't know where he got it from. So I wish I did. It was pretty good. If any of y'all out there know, put it in the chat or let me know or whatever. as you all know, the link is pinned up in the description. I've had some mouthy ass people on Facebook, and I told them, I said, well, you just come on my show and dazzle us with your brilliance. That's all you'll have to do. I don't know if you caught it today. I was with Flatsoid, and the crew was on, what is that guy's name? The Drunken Debunker or some shit like that. The guy's name is Mike. I think he moderated a debate recently. I think he's the guy that moderated a debate. It's hard for me to keep up with these characters, but it was funny. Went over well, but boy, you could really see when the cognitive dissonance started to kick in on him and shit. He's just like laughing inappropriately. And I'm like, what is so funny about what was just said? You know? And that's a standard response. That's why if you've ever talked to these jokers on Facebook, they'll just go through and they'll put a laughy emoji on every fucking post you've ever done, you know? And it's like, what is it that you're trying to convey to me? You know? and the worst part is that they don't even bother to examine their own behavior and see how fucking nutty it is. Hey, Jeremy, good to see you, my man. Let's see. Brian Hamilton, Bills win. Okay, well, good. I was hoping somebody would win. Yeah, the Drunk Debunker show. The Drunk Debunker show. It was pretty good. It actually was pretty good. Put a lot of points out there. Listening to some of the retarded questions some of the people were asking in Super Chat, it was just like, did you even really think about that before you ask it? You know, and usually they don't. They just throw some shit out there that they heard somewhere. And that's usually what people that want to hang on to this crap, that's all they've ever done their entire life, is just join up in a party, join up in a club, take a side, never think anything, and usually letting consensus guide them, which I think that's beautiful, because those are the people I won't have to worry about tripping over when it becomes important. You understand? Those are the people that are all going to be in the wrong chute. So I kind of like to pride myself in the people that come here, that they're able to discern what's bullshit from what's not bullshit. And if we're having trouble discerning it, well, we put our good heads together and we think about it, don't we? Yes, indeed. So let me see what's going on over here on the we're going to have a lot of shit coming our way from the white hats and Donald Trump and all the shit that's coming about from that. Let me see what I've got here. So, like here, breaking, this just went on an hour ago. Trump's DOJ investigates Biden executive orders after it was revealed that the deep state was issuing them without Biden's knowledge. Well, and I find that easy to believe. I do. What is it that I don't listen to, M-Ball? Just because you repeat something stupid over and over does not mean that it makes it true. If it doesn't make sense or it doesn't hold up to scientific scrutiny, then it's bullshit. Do you understand that? I guess I don't know why you don't understand that. You guys are all the time going on about, we have a working model. No, you don't. No, you don't. Your model falls apart right upon inception. The cornerstone of your model is a ball of fucking gas that somehow formed together in a void. That's never going to happen. Okay, so your whole model crumbled apart right upon your foundational helio stone. I don't know how you all don't get that. But the predictions, fuck your predictions. Your whole premise is wrong. It doesn't stand up to physical science. Okay, so stop it. It's that simple. Christ almighty. You know, prove convexity of the earth with physical measurements of convexity. Demonstrate water adhering to the outside of an object and assuming its shape. And don't tell me it's too big. No. That means you don't have any proof of your nonsense. You have a made up story. Stop. They're exhausting. They're exhausting. And that's what they always want to do. They point to the sky. It's like, why in the fuck are you pointing at the sky? Give me demonstrable proof of your hypothesis or shut the fuck up about it. I mean, what are you doing? And then you want to scream science about shit that doesn't even have science involved with it. That's what's so funny. Yes, reality is beneath our feet. We have a flat, level, topographical fucking plane that we live on. What is with these people? Why would they fight so hard tooth and nail to justify something that they don't even have a firsthand observation of? What the fuck? Right? Who's this character? I know this character. What's going on, Jack?
Trouble. How's it going?
Trouble. But I mean, that's what they do. Not a single firsthand observation of what they're fighting to defend. Not whatsoever. Just some belief. Just some kind of nonsensical belief that they've had beaten into their head. They were told they were smart for believing it. And now when it comes out that, hey, your shit don't stand up to science, oh, it doesn't matter. Get out of here. Where do you get these people from? See what I'm saying? Predictions only work. Yeah, like we're the Psychic Friends fucking network. Yeah, I mean, that's it. You know, all this thing about predictions. They're not predictions. They're post-dictions. They're repeatable patterns. Okay. It's not like you're predicting something that's unexpected. That's not how this works. And your whole thing about being able to, predictions are not what science is. Science is demonstrable evidence. Science is testing variables, not making fucking predictions. Nobody cares about that. Even a blind squirrel finds a nut every once in a while. So just stop. There's correlation bias too. You know, I see this and this happens, therefore this causes that to happen. No, it doesn't mean that at all. You have to you have to subject it to testing of some kind in order to verify that your hypothesis is correct. Correlation bias like that is exactly why people in the Middle Ages thought that mice would spontaneously generate from trash. They did. They thought that was true. If you left trash around, it would just spontaneously generate mice.
I'm almost there with that. Sorry. I almost believe things spawn in here sometimes, like, you know.
Well, I mean, it's a ridiculous assumption, but just because you left some trash and you find some mice in it later doesn't mean that the mice came from the trash.
No, not directly.
This is no, not directly, not at all. It's like my idea of.
But indirectly, they want food, right?
Well, and think about this: Monday through Friday, there's a little red sedan that goes from south to north past my house. Same time, Monday through Friday. And in every Monday through Friday, right after that red car goes by, my mail arrives. Now, does that mean that red car going by my house causes the mail to arrive? No.
Not necessarily, unless he drops off somebody that gets in the mail car and he's the driver for the
Right, exactly. It could be connected, but loosely. The act of the car going by my house is not a causation of what happens next.
Not based on a simple observation that proves nothing. Right.
So that's just, you know, you have to work your brain that way, and these people have a real problem being able to do such a thing. And I think it's sad. I think it's sad, and it always into this binary style of thinking, where it's either this or it's that. They don't ever consider the possibility of a combination of things. They never do consider that. And you're like, well, why did you not consider that? You know, like, why do things fall? Why do you have a pressure gradient? You know, it's not one singular cause. There are a host of variables that are coming into play, and they just can't seem to get it. But this is what Trump said today. This is interesting. He had some kind of a big rally tonight. Now they're moving the inauguration to the inside. They're going to go inside. And they said it's because it's going to be so blistering ass cold. And I know they were talking about wind chill of 15 to 30 degrees below zero tomorrow. And that's only about an hour or so away from me in DC. So I can imagine it would be pretty bad. But I think that they're going to try to pull some shit, man. I really do. Now, if this goes off without a hitch, I'll be glad. But like my dad used to tell me, he said, hope for the best, but always hope for the best, but expect the worst. Then you're never disappointed.
Or plan for the worst or something, yeah.
Yeah. So this is, let me bring this up. Good old Donnie.
Every radical and foolish executive order of the Biden administration will be repealed within hours of when I take the oath of office. Oh, you're going to have a lot of fun watching television tomorrow. Somebody said yesterday, sir, don't sign so many in one day. Let's do it over a period of weeks. I said, like hell, we're going to do it over weeks. We're going to sign them at the beginning. You know that old story. Let's do it later. Then it never gets done. No, we're doing them tomorrow. And we'll have plenty to sign in the future. Don't worry about it. It's not going to stop.
He's just going to go fucking crazy with these executive orders, repealing executive orders, writing in other executive orders. They're talking about they're going to have a great big huge immigration crackdown within hours of the inauguration. Man, how's it all going to end, right?
Can we talk about anything on here, Saab? Like, I mean, just let me know if I say anything a little outside.
Well,
you mentioned,
you know what are hot button things on YouTube? You know. All right.
Well, we'll just call them aliens from now on, because that would be a safe word for them, wouldn't it? So all these aliens are coming in here and starting fires in North America? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Yeah. Okay, I know what you're talking about. These people that have illegally immigrated into the country.
Well, this is the story. Is that not the narrative for the cause of all these problems?
Well, they've said that. I don't know. I see a lot of causes for problems.
There's this guy, Tom McDonald, the rapper dude or whatever. He's supposed to be like, alternative or whatever.
Yeah.
And he's talking about how horrible it is that, it's the government's fault that these immigrants, quote unquote aliens, my bad, are responsible for this thing going on. But it's just part of the confusion. They'll give you 7 stories.
Well, Tom McDonald, there again, another case of somebody who's gotten big and is hobnobbing around with the controlled opposition. And do I trust his shit? No. Does he got some pretty good tunes? Yeah. But he's part of the establishment now. I mean, he's hobnobbing around with Roseanne Barr and shit. Get the fuck up out of here. As soon as they start hanging out with Candace Owens, hanging out with Alex Jones, hanging out with Tom McDonald, all these Roseanne and shit, dude, forget it. Forget it. They wouldn't be hanging out with those people if they haven't already been gotten to.
Yeah, but what happens to these people? You think they're just always like that, or the money change them, or like what is there, a tipping point?
I think they get offered that golden calf.
I don't know. I don't think they're giving out money that easily, man.
Well, something's going on. Something's going on about it. And I'll say it again, if I ever recant on Flat Earth, it means I've been compromised.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm with you on that. I don't identify in the squad or Flat Earth, but I know it's not a globe. I know that for sure. And I don't believe anything I can't now see out there in space. Like, as far as I'm concerned, they're lights in the sky, and maybe they are.
Dude, as far as their bullshit about we have a working model, no, you don't. Your foundational fucking stone is flawed. Right off the bat. Your foundational stone is flawed. Gases do not coagulate together into a mass. It doesn't happen, ever. And if you do collect them together into a mass, they are striving very hard to get away from being that. They're not going to congeal back together and have gravity and all this other nonsense that goes about it. So right off the bat, the foundational cornerstone of the whole heliocentric model, and that would be Helios itself, is fucking horse shit. There you go. Now, we haven't even gotten to your predictions. You can't predict something with something that can't exist. All right, so you're going to have to come up with something better than that. That's all. And then you want to talk about convexity of water? What? How you can demonstrate water adhering to the outside of an object and assuming its shape? Really? When were you ever able to do that? Ooh, gravity. There is no gravity. Stop it. And it's all based on this fucking myth of mass attracting mass. That's the biggest stupid shit horse thing. What? When has anybody ever seen two objects draw toward one another merely by volition of their existence? Never.
Centrifugal force. Centrifugal force.
Well, I mean, they're not good. It doesn't happen. So without an observation, why are you even doing an experiment?
Like if it was a flat Earth and we were doing the centrifugal force thing and still spinning, everything would spread out to the sides like a.
Well, yeah, there's no movement.
Like a clay, right? Yeah.
Well, it's just a denial of all your senses. The entire story is a denial of your senses.
I find it interesting that Polaris thing, though. Brian Staveley dismisses it. He gets too upset about it.
About
the
what?
way that the time lapse around Polaris, it seems, I don't know. He says it's fiction, but there's got to be something to it. If you look at Polaris on a time lapse, it makes circles, like it looks like a record player. Like all the stars seem to move in a circular pattern around Polaris.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Brian dismisses it all the time. I'm like, dude, there's
and they all go around from a central point, east to west. And just because you look at them from a different standpoint and they appear to go in opposite directions, they're still going east to west. Get out your compass.
Yeah, no. The strange thing is that they just shift. I don't even know exactly what they're doing. I'd have to look.
Well, it doesn't even belong in the realm of science. These are not objects that we can test. We can't examine them outside of looking at them with a telescope. That's about all we can do. And
we could do it.
And so I'm sorry, science has to deal within the realm of things that you can actually interact with. If you can't interact with it, if all you can do is just observe it and note the repeating patterns that they make, well, where's the science involved there? Making up stories about how far away you think they are? Coming up with complex formulas to explain what you think that you're seeing? That's not science. Not in any way, shape, or form. The word astronomy literally means star naming.
I've made some weird observations.
There's no science in astronomy. They treat it like it is. And that's the first thing they want to do. Well, look, we can prove by science. Look at the sky. How are you going to manipulate the sky? How can you interact with the things in the sky in order to verify your hypothesis? You can't. How do you even know that they're in the physical realm? You don't. All you see is shit in the sky. That's it. And you can look at it and make up stories about it all you want to. But at the end of the day, that's all it is just shit you see in the sky. You don't know what it is, anything else about it. And just because some guy with a German accent and a bunch of letters after his goddamn name says something doesn't make it so.
Make it so, number one.
Yeah, right? Number two is what it's more like.
Make it number two.
Oh, shit. So, yeah.
So what do you think they are then? Yeah, I played up, but what do you think they are then? Just coincidence, all them speckly things up there?
Well, I don't know, man. They could be points of attention, points of frequency. They could be some kind of an esoteric phenomenon. Who knows? Perhaps even what the Bible depicts as angels. We always see angels are depicted as musicians and choirs and things like that associated with music. And we know that the fundamental element behind all material world is nothing more than frequency, energy, and vibration. What if each one of the stars is just each one a member of a grand symphony that is playing our reality into existence? I don't know. I got as much proof of that as anybody does of it being a big ball of fucking gas.
Yeah, no, that's cool. I was thinking projector, but that's just offside, like it's part of this whole fucking electricity or something.
We assume that we're seeing through the firmament. We assume that we're seeing through it. We never take into the idea that we're seeing it itself. That'd be like you thinking the ceiling is the sky. It's not. So what you see is what looks like the sky may actually just be the firmament itself. Give you the illusion of depth, give you the illusion that you could go beyond it, that you're seeing things beyond it, and maybe you're just seeing things that are part of it.
Yeah, for sure,
Really?
man.
Yeah. So outside of if you can't interact with it any more than just observation, then there's no way you can apply the scientific method to any of it.
Well, the only thing you can do with strictly observations is you can notice deviations and like map it out, like over years and years. Like if I wanted to take the temperature every day and compare it to with what they said, kind of thing. But,
Here's an interesting said chaotic scenes are unfolding outside of Trump's rally as crowds try to get inside Capital One Arena as it reaches capacity. And there was a lot of upset people standing outside. Check this out.
go Leafs.
I'll tell you what, with as bad as it looks like they're trying to get this guy took out, I don't think I would want to even be within a bomb blast radius of the dude for a rally or any other such thing. You know what I mean? I'd steer clear.
Shame! Way to go! Way to
You're shutting me. You're shutting me. Other side is east.
I know. Look at this shit. Woo, Antarctica. Woo.
I really hope I can do.
What the fuck, man? How do people's minds get to such a state where they would stand out in that bullshit to go see some guy issue out a bunch of fucking propaganda? I mean, I try sometimes to think like a normie, and it's like I have to like really make myself retarded to even try to entertain some of the shit. I'm gonna go stand out in a fucking in a blizzard so I can hopefully get into a building to listen to some asshat blow pop propaganda at me for a couple of hours.
Oh, it's like the native guy standing on one foot in the on the post 20 feet up, right? He climbed up there barefoot. He's been standing there for 2 days, right? If he lasts 3 days, he gets 2 virgins, right? No, I'm just saying, like, it's a feat of strength, I guess. But these people, I don't know, dude. I was gonna say about like drones, as in like hive mind, because like that's kind of what you were talking about when we started off. Like, how are these people? How can they not see some of it, right? And if you see some of it, how do you go back?
I know, right? You have to really overlook a lot of shit. Here's more of his stuff he's putting out there.
And tomorrow, everybody in this very large arena will be very happy with my decision on the J6 hostages. Very happy. I think you'll be very, very happy. I would say about 99.9% in this beautiful arena. And by the way, I want to thank the owners of this arena.
What the fuck, man? So what do we got? Oh, that ain't all. But wait, there's more to hear. Billy Mays, wasn't that the guy's name? Billy Mays.
Yeah, the helmet.
Wait, there's more, right? Yeah, the OxyClean guy. So yeah, there's more. Hang on.
I will end the war in Ukraine. I will stop the chaos in the Middle East, and I will prevent World War III from happening. And you have no idea how close we are. I will end the war in Ukraine.
What? He's going to end the war in Ukraine, end the war in the Middle East. He's going to that's not all. That's not all. He's going to do oh yeah, here we go. The JFK files too. Now wasn't he supposed to do that last time too? Wasn't he supposed to do that last time?
And in the coming days, we are going to make public remaining records relating to the assassinations of President John F. Kennedy, his brother Robert Kennedy, as well as Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., and other topics of great public interest. It's all going to be released, Uncle Sam. And in the coming days...
Jeez. Why don't you just put a big old target on you and walk around, man? Right?
Hello.
What's happening, Steven?
Oh, not much. I was just thinking, do you think that the normies of humanity are just so far gone that we might consider just euthanizing them? I mean, they're just lobotomized people.
Well, they're already lobotomized, I think,
Yeah.
to an extent. And if you just don't do anything, I think it'd be kind of like, I think it would have the same effect as taking warning labels off of shit. You know, just kind of let nature do its course. You know, it's
Maybe
like
come out with some flavored Tide Pods like that look like cherries and stuff like that, and just no labels and leave them to their own devices. Okay.
Yeah, if I have to tell you that, you know, drinking the fluid from your car battery is bad for you, then that's an indication that you probably should not be told that and go ahead and try it out. You know,
Well, that antifreeze though, that looks kind of like the blue stuff they put on snow cones to them, I guess. It and the windshield washer fluid, and you know,
some good shit, man. But see, that's the only thing. Fabuloso look like it'd be delicious, doesn't it? Let's see, what is it? Oh, this is his whole little spiel here. This was pretty good too. Really, he's got him riled up, boy. But I think, listen, I feel like something just ain't fucking right. You know what I mean? I just feel like something's gonna happen, man. I really do. It's
always
like,
feel that way, and we always say, well, we're not going to be fear porn or whatever, but no, it's like for whatever reason you get around a few people, and the way that he's talking is he's going to end the war. How do you end a war unless you win? You either win or you lose, right? I mean,
man, oh,
well, he says
Tomorrow
we're very
at noon, the curtain closes on 4 long years of American decline, and we begin a brand new day of American strength and prosperity, dignity and pride. Bringing it all back. Once and for all, we're going to end the reign of a failed and corrupt political establishment in Washington, a failed administration. We're not going to take it anymore. We're going to stop the invasion of our borders. We're going to reclaim our wealth. We're going to unlock the liquid gold that's right under our feet, liquid gold. We're going to bring back law and order to our cities. We're going to restore patriotism to our schools, get radical left, woke ideologies the hell out of our military and out of our government. And we are going to make America great again.
well, if that wasn't a paraphrasing of Nuremberg, wow.
I like Nuremberg.
Not saying that
I like Nuremberg.
Yeah, I mean, it was just like, you know, if you heard him say it in German as passionately, he might sound like an angry little man, but the words still ring true. Even here, almost 100 years later, the words still ring true. And calling them woke is still the same as calling them communists, the same very people that established communism are the exact same radicals that the little mustache
is what I think.
Yeah, man, that's just how it is. I mean, those book burnings that you see, those weren't works of great literature. Those were homosexual pornography and books like My Two Daddies and all that shit that we're talking about
100%.
now. That's what they were burning.
Yep.
And of course, the radical leftists, they want to turn around and go, look, they're against literature. No, they're against the poisoning of people's brains with that bullshit.
It's commie Jew propaganda and degeneracy. Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, one of the
Weimar
first
Republic
pansexual clinics was in Berlin, I think in 1933 or 1936, something like that. They shut that down.
Imagine what they did to genitals back in the 20s and 30s. Can you imagine what the butchery of what they look like? I mean, if you saw one of them naked post-surgery, it must have been a horror show.
Oh my God! And from what they didn't have penicillin yet either, if I'm not mistaken.
What year?
1933, I think. Yeah.
Oh Jesus.
Yeah. So you can only imagine. But Berlin was a hotbed of vice and degeneration during the Weimar Republic. It was, like I said, they had the transsexual clinic there. There was all kinds of homosexual brothels. Child prostitution was rampant. All the vices, narcotics, gambling, all that shit was destroying the moral. It was a moral decay. They were already devastatedly depressed due to the crushing Treaty of Versailles after World War I. And then you let certain elements come in and start running those vices on your people as an escape and a reprogramming of the populace who's already demoralized. We got to put a stop to that. And that I think is what they're doing. They're trying here, and I'd be glad to see a stop to it as well, because they're doing it by force. It'd be one thing if you could opt out of it, but you can't. They make it so that by law you have to be subjected to the bullshit. See, and that's where it starts. That's where you have to draw the line. You know, I have to tolerate some man going into the bathroom that my little girl just went into. Get the fuck out of here with that. That's not happening. And worse yet, and that behavior is what needs to be examined. There's something.
You know what? I think there should be a kid's bathroom and an adult's bathroom. I don't know, man. Like, I don't want to be in the same washroom as a female, but if it was no more urinals and everybody had their own little porta potty in there, you know, still nicer than shitting outside. I mean, but like, that's a societal impossible barrier, right? And now they've found a way to break the barrier, and it's not pretty. You know, and like,
well, what they've done is they've taken a necessity. They've taken a necessity and then used it as a segue to be able to get in there with perversion. I mean, in other words, everyone has to go to the bathroom, right?
It appears that way.
Okay. So now they're saying they're using that as an excuse to be able to go into a different bathroom, for not to go use the bathroom, but to actually be in there with a child. Not to mention trying to push it up in everybody's face.
They're perverts.
Exactly.
They're mentally ill sickos.
There's some psychopaths for sure.
Those are my opinions. I don't hate those people. I just don't want to be around them.
I don't like them. I'll put it that way. I don't like them. Some of them are so perverted. They have a shit fetish. They love the smell of shit. They dress in skirts and they'll pull out a schlong in a woman's bathroom. I mean, they're just perverted, man.
I was talking to a guy one time. He's a gay guy. And I told him, I says, you guys are hurting your own credibility. Hurting your own credibility. I said, when you go and you want to march or you want to demonstrate for equal rights for homosexuals so that people will stop treating you as a pariah, okay? You don't do it by dressing up like Vegas showgirls and having feathers sticking out your ass and wearing ass chaps and doing all
dildos and
that's not how you do it.
Dog leashes.
Here's how you do it. All dress business attire. Everybody just wear business attire, suits and tie, right? You go ahead and have your demonstration and say, wow, who are those guys out there? What are they demonstrating for? Well, those are homosexuals and they want.
But you know what? The reason they don't is because they are perverts. You know?
Well, the thing is they won't do that. It's not that they want to have the equal rights. They want to make you have to put up with their disgusting bullshit.
Yeah.
That's where
well, they already have more rights than we do. They're a protected class, even on YouTube.
Yeah.
Compared to us, like they have more rights and protections than we do. They're actually the advantaged, privileged ones that are a protected class. So,
well, I would dare to say that not a protected class, but more of a promoted class.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, they keep each other out of. You know, it looks like to the public, they're just getting a slap on the wrist and they're not going to prison like everybody else, and that's kind of fucked up, I think.
Oh, and did you guys hear Trump also? He saved TikTok. He has
What?
saved
No, I
TikTok.
didn't hear.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Here's this little thing on it.
He's fixing every
And
problem.
as of today, TikTok is back.
But it's from China. China.
So, I did a little TikTok thing. We have a guy, TikTok Jack. He's a young kid, like 21 years old. And we hired this guy, and I went on TikTok. Can you believe what I'll do to win an election? And we went on TikTok, and Republicans have never won the young vote, the youth vote. They win a lot of votes, but they never won the youth vote. We won the youth vote by 36 points. So I like TikTok. I like it.
That's all right. I wasn't expecting that.
He likes TikTok, but he's the one that fucking wrote the executive order to ban it in the first goddamn place.
That's the platform that encourages the things you guys were just talking about too.
Yeah. I wish it'd go away. Get rid of it.
This is what got me about it, though. Think about this. He's the one that banned it in the first damn place.
Yeah, and it's only good because it got him reelected now. So,
Right.
That's the difference.
And the people cheer that because they're stupid.
I mean,
they're dummies.
I mean, screw the Tide Pod challenge or stick your finger up your ass challenge or whatever. But I mean, it got him reelected, so it's good again.
The what? I didn't know Jaron was on TikTok. Is that what you said? Oh, sorry.
I think
Duffy.
I put one of my videos up on TikTok. I don't like I don't like it. I don't like the way I don't like the interaction. I mean, I'm used to YouTube. I'm used to Rumble. I'm used to Facebook, that kind of thing. The TikTok, it's just really chaotic to me. I mean, it's just kind of like a chaotic fucking.
It's for the younger generation.
It's like YouTube too. If you don't play along with the rules, then you don't get promoted. And
is it like it's like this controlled shit?
Yeah.
I can't read Chinese, so I never went on TikTok.
Which they basically told me, they said they will never monetize me on YouTube. They said get this. They said because I talk about controversial subjects that could be harmful to people, and I was like, controversial subjects that could be harmful. I would love to see a death certificate with cause of death being controversial subject matter. Cause of death, controversial subject matter. Oh, okay. Right. This is the thing. People get so tied up in their fucking feelings. You know what relies on is you playing your feelings, playing your emotions. That's what they rely on it, man.
That's how
what I didn't hear Trump talk about. Oh, go ahead, buddy. I didn't hear you.
Oh, that's all good. Go ahead about Trump. I got comments about Trump. I'm just off topic.
Are you good? I was going to say what I didn't hear from Trump was, much interest in our sovereignty and free speech, and what the fuck is going on with that, and how it's really getting under people's skin, with, if we do have quote unquote a constitution, I think he needs to be on that topic a little bit more, man.
He delegated that to Doge. They'll take care of that.
The Constitution. Well, Bush Jr. said that's just a piece of paper. Remember that years ago? He said, "Oh, that's just a piece of paper."
I think Bush Jr. had been lucky if he could actually read the fucking thing.
Yeah.
I'm serious.
Trump can talk the talk like a wrestler. He talks in waves, if you notice, and he waits for the crowd, and there's these weird pauses, and depending on how much the joke worked or whatever. Or
trying to read the room. Yeah.
Well,
read the room.
Did you ever watch and study how the Mustache Man?
He didn't mention guns.
Did you ever study how the Mustache Man delivered his speeches? It's interesting.
Rhythmic.
The Mustache Man, little man that was in charge of most of Europe.
Yeah.
The Austrian painter. He was.
Yeah, he would come out late. He would come out late. The crowd would be anticipating him coming out like he's supposed to be out at 9 o'clock comes and goes. He's still not out on the stage. And then finally, he would walk out on the stage and the crowd would erupt. And then he would just stand there at the podium, and the crowd would finally settle down and be quiet, and there'd be just a hush over the entire crowd. And he would just still stand there. He would just still look at them. And the anticipation of what he was about to say, you could cut it with a knife. And then he would come in impassioned and talk about making Germany great again and how to get rid of all of the vices and bring back the family values and the German culture back to the German people and blah, 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 blah. And the crowd would go crazy. And then he would make his point and then let everybody make their, cheering and everything else like that. And then he'd bring them right back into it again, just like a conductor working an orchestra. It was beautiful to watch. Mussolini,
it was brilliant.
Hand gestures to emphasize what he was saying by pounding his fist on the podium when he was emphasizing a point emphatically, and the people respond to that, man.
A lot of charisma.
At that era, their country was like number one in everything, like we used to be. And their economy was very strong. They had the most technological advancements
in a short time. Short time, they went from a depression that makes ours look like a cakewalk. Becoming the most powerful economic, militarily, culturally, as far as the arts were concerned, motion pictures, all that shit. Germany was the shit. You see? And they were cutting edge on everything. And they did that in a short period of time, mainly because they outlawed the practice of usury. And
from the tiny hats.
Yes.
Well,
they go along with it. As if you get rid of the practice, the practitioners have no other choice but to leave.
The U.S. what they wanted the scientists. They wanted the head guy, the real leaders and doers.
They got the guy at NASA. They got the rocket scientists.
Not just after the war, of course. But I mean, at the time, Germany was striving for those people that were well versed in the arts, the classics, the bringing back of the German pride in all of its facets, in all
real
of its
culture.
Facets. Yes.
Sorry. Yes.
Yeah. And it's and people
I agree
around to say that they did evil shit, and it was like no, they were attacked for that. They were attacked by the Zios of the world for that.
Absolutely. They declared war on Germany. We can't do that these days because people would be hanging their heads saying with white guilt, we don't want to be number one. That oppresses other people. Strive to be the best. People feel guilty these days. All this white guilt bullshit that people have.
This is interesting right here. This was from Stu Peters. And you've heard us say on here before that Israel commands a lot of control in our government.
Yeah.
They really do. And it's through who should be listed as a foreign agent, the APEC organization.
100%.
And this little video here is pretty interesting. If you want to see how this is infiltrated, check this out.
So I've heard that anti-Semitism is on the rise on X and across various social media platforms as a result of right-wing internet influencers propagating a conspiracy theory claiming that the American government is occupied and controlled by Israel. Is it really a conspiracy theory?
Congressman, my name's Frankie Stocks. I'm a reporter with the Stu Peters Network. I would just love to ask you a quick question. I'm trying to ask every representative I can.
Go for it, Frank.
That is, do you care more about the American people or Israel as a member of Congress?
I don't think they're mutually exclusive, Frankie.
Can you elaborate?
They're our best ally.
Are they? Who do you care about more, the United States or Israel? United States or Israel, sir? No answer? Should we put you down for Israel? Who do you care about more, the American people or Israel? It's an easy one. American people or Israel? You don't got to fake a phone call. American people or Israel? Who do you care about more, the American people or Israel? The American people or Israel, sir? Who do you care about more, the American people or Israel? No answer?
I think that Israel is one of our strongest allies in a part of the world where people are trying to harm us, and I think they need our support.
So should the U.S. continue funding Israel, despite their links to the 9/11 or their attack on the USS Liberty? Who do you care about more, the United States or Israel?
That's kind of an odd question to ask.
Well, it's a question the American people have been asking a lot because they're starting to wake up to how much AIPAC money is flowing into the coffers of Congress.
Well, if you watch what I've done over the years since I've been here, the question about do we have strong support for Israel, I think it would be hard to find somebody who's more positive about it than I have. So I'm amazed sometimes at where the American people are, how they think. It's like, this is so against everything I've heard with people who raised me over the so.
Well, we have American citizens who are about to freeze to death in Western North Carolina, and we're sending millions to Israel. So, well, it is a comparison because the money's going out. It's all coming from the same people. It's coming from the taxpayers, sir. Who do you care about more, the American people or Israel? American people or Israel, sir? Sir, they're equal? Are you serving Israel or are you serving America?
I stand with Israel.
Okay, so can you answer the original question? Who do you care about more, U.S. or
There's
Israel?
no variance. It's like you asking, do you love your wife more than your daughter? And you said it's a simple question.
It is.
Do you love your wife more than your daughter?
I love the
That's
United
not
States more than I love Israel. It's a very simple question.
Great love, and you as a human being, you express that love, and you have core principles that drive you to your love for your wife and your love for your daughter. It's two different loves, but neither of them is greater than the other. You understand?
Who's the priority when you're casting a vote in Congress, America or Israel? Well, it's a very simple question. You're not answering it, Representative. Who do you care about more, the American people or Israel? American people or Israel, sir? Who do you care about more, the American people or Israel? No answer? Who do you care about more, the American people or Israel? American people or Israel, sir? Who do you care about more, of the American people or Israel? No answer? Who do you care about more, the American people or Israel? Well, who do you care about more? American people or Israel, sir? Who do you care about more, the American people or Israel? American people or Israel, sir? Is it so hard to say you care about the American people who you're here to serve? The American people believe that Israel holds disproportionate influence over our own government, thanks to organizations like AIPAC, who are pumping millions of dollars into American politics, promoting Israel first policy. So,
If you want to share this information, you're doing a great job.
it's not misinformation. We have the campaign finance report, sir. It's not misinformation. Do you care more about the American people or about Israel?
Where are you from?
The Stu Peters Network. The Stu Peters Show just released a film called Occupied on this very subject, which I highly recommend to look up. But can you answer the question, sir? Do you care more about the American people or about Israel?
I'm an American. I care more about the American.
You care more about the American people? Right, but should Americans take priority over Israel? We know AIPAC's pumping hundreds of thousands of dollars into congressional candidates. They're obviously getting some sway there. Should AIPAC register as a foreign agent?
Good question. Don't they already?
No.
You can't wait for
Yes,
that
sir.
elevator.
Oh, man.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Stu Peters Network, Frankie Stocks. We're asking the questions that the American people want answered by their representatives. Yes, sir.
RG, you're clipping or something, man.
Yeah, my bad.
Congressman, quick second. I'm Frankie Stocks with the Stu Peters Network, trying to ask all members I can this question. Very simple. Who do you care about more, the American people or Israel?
American people.
You are the first to have given me that answer, sir. Thank you. Yep.
American people. Number one, man.
Put him on trial for treason.
Tell you what, and look at the way that they just scurry away. They don't
Yeah.
want to talk about it. They won't answer the question. They're dismissive. Like
They scurried like cockroaches. They
Oh,
scurried
my.
away like cockroaches when you shine a light. They just ran, you know.
You know what that reminded me of, bro? Was when Astronauts Gone Wild, when they asked to put their hand on the Bible. That's exactly
Yeah.
what it reminded me of.
And one punched the guy. Remember that? The astronaut.
Yeah. That was
threw a punch.
which guy was that?
Buzz
That was Buzz Aldrin.
he was, he was on that tequila that day.
You know, when Sav was talking earlier
answers.
about the. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, you could have said all life is equal or something, kind of like the other guy tried to say, but he was explaining about his daughter and his love for his wife and stuff. And
Oh, that made no sense.
No.
Yeah, but he could have said all life is important, or anything should have rolled off the tongue. There's more than one answer, right? But I
Its
guess
analogy
what we want to hear is,
was fucking
Yeah.
stupid.
I mean, the answer's simple when it comes right down to it. The American
if you want to wear the uniform,
well,
right?
no, if American funds should go to the American people.
And their
Yeah,
they're
loyalty
wearing
should be
American
to
flag,
American
you know.
people.
Yeah.
You know, promote the general welfare. Isn't that part of the fucking Constitution?
They're not supposed to be representing Israel, but they act like it. I mean, it's just, and they are. I mean, oh,
Well, and here's the crap that look at how insanity involves holding two contradictory ideas as true at the same time. And listen what this guy asked this fella. Listen to this.
You don't believe in God?
Yeah, I don't believe in God.
But you're God's chosen people?
Yeah, I'm Jewish.
Okay, let's try that one more time. You don't believe in God?
Yeah.
Okay.
I believe there's no death.
Okay, so you don't believe in God. But you believe that you're God's chosen people.
Yeah.
You don't believe in God?
So wait a second. How can you be God's chosen people if you don't even believe in God?
a lot of Jews are secular. They just want that privilege. They just want to be known as the chosen ones, no matter what, even if they don't believe in God. But you're right, Sav. Earlier, when you said about the mustache man giving the speeches, it made me think of something I heard where you said about him making the crowd wait and wait and wait, and they'd be cheering. By the time he began to speak, half the women in the audience were pregnant.
Well, look who else's big comeback kind of came back today too. Old Netanyahu, how everybody was rioting in the streets over him not too long ago, and now they got the great ceasefire, and now he's all good again. And it coincides with Trump coming back in. It's like they're both coming back to fix all your problems. No worries.
Right on script, right?
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Well, see,
Oh, bro, and they both. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was gonna say they have this grand habit of creating a problem and then fixing it and thinking that they're a hero for it.
Yeah.
You know,
the alien dialect. Yeah.
This was out today. Let me just show you this real quick. Let me pull this over. Said here, Trump banned TikTok. Trump is the one who originally signed Executive Order 13942 on August the 6th, 2020, that banned TikTok from the United States. This entire thing is a manufactured charade. Trump looks like a hero for solving a problem that he created, and that's exactly right. There's the news thing about it right here.
The president says he's going to ban TikTok as soon as today. The popular video sharing app is owned by a Chinese company, which means the Communist Chinese Party controls it as well. And there is ongoing concern it's being used as a tool for Chinese intelligence. Lucas Tomlinson is live for the Pentagon with more. Lucas, good morning.
Good morning, guys. A move likely to make most teenagers freak out, but parents rejoice. President Trump says he wants to ban the Chinese-owned popular video sharing app called TikTok.
We're looking at TikTok. We may be banning TikTok. We may be doing some other things. There are a couple of options, but a lot of things are happening. So we'll see what happens. But we are looking at a lot of alternatives with respect to TikTok.
The president later left no doubt, saying he will be banning TikTok to reporters on Air Force One, and said action against the company could come as soon as today, using emergency economic powers or an executive order. The news comes hours after Microsoft reportedly opened talks to purchase the popular app from Beijing. U.S. intelligence officials have long warned the Chinese Communist government uses the app to harvest data on Americans and is a security risk. The app is very popular. Some 100 million Americans use it every day, watching the homemade, sometimes very clever video clips. In a statement, TikTok pushed back, saying, quote, TikTok U.S. user data is stored in the U.S. with strict controls on employee access. We are committed to protecting our users' privacy and safety as we continue working to bring joy to families. Now, if this ban does go forward, it could save some children some embarrassment later in life, but it could force them to choose other hobbies like reading and exercise, guys.
Hey, if you don't mind, Soph, let me say this. Part of that's probably partially true, and
We may be banned.
and there may be things that he has to play that role as if the boogeyman is Russia or China, and Russia's coming to mess up the elections, and this it's always got to be a role play, like to point the finger overseas. Always got to point, and then they'll. But what I was going to say is,
go ahead.
well, what I was going to say is that everybody is getting everybody's information and storing it and using it against or for a certain purpose. You know what I mean? So, damn, man, when they point the finger at TikTok, it's almost like just because there's a threat of American people's attention and whatever going away from what they're trying to brainwash us with is a national security threat, right? Like, yeah.
Well,
anyway,
so there's because it's a Chinese app that it's spying on us, but it's okay for it to have Instagram, Facebook, and the rest of it spying on us on a Chinese fucking phone. Come on.
How can it even be possible if China doesn't want to sell it either? And Congress made it the law of the land. The Supreme Court upheld it. But he can't just like put in an executive order and make it so.
Oh, now you just touched on one of the key linchpin problems that started the fucking Civil War in the first place. Who do you think came up with the concept and wrote the first executive order? Abraham Lincoln. That's an assumptive thing. That is assuming dictatorial powers. And through this idea of precedence, he who wins the wars gets to make the rules. It's just become standard practice.
Yeah, I guess Biden never really went through Congress for any of the things he did this whole time. So none of them do, but yeah.
No, that's why I say executive order is not even anything in the Constitution about him having the power of executive orders.
Right.
It's just ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah, they've slowly added things on as the years have went by. It's with all the amendments and everything's been like the IRS and all that, man. It's just added up over the years, and it may have been a great idea by the founding fathers, but it ended up really shitty, and we're in a pickle right now as sovereign, supposed to be sovereign.
We sat on our laurels and we let them fucking slip shit in under our noses.
I have a history
We're
question.
not vigilant. We lost vigilance.
Right.
Somewhere along the line, we lost vigilance, and we're paying the price for it now.
I have a history question.
Okay.
How come we were fighting the Brits and the French the whole time? You guys were like sorting out your freedom down there, like a bunch of, I don't know what country you guys all came from, right?
You're in Canada, right?
Yeah, the invaders up here
we
were
were fighting the French, but you were fighting the French by default because you're a British colonies. Okay.
Right.
So
yeah. Well,
yeah,
it
that's
wasn't
why
quite like that.
do you want the answer to your question?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
How'd you get rid of them?
What do you mean? How did we get rid of them?
Would you swim there? How'd you get to America?
What are you talking about?
Where did all the Caucasian people that basically landed there and had your Civil War come from?
Well, you're talking about, like, what do you mean Caucasian people landed here? There were Caucasian people here for a couple hundred years before the Civil War ever happened.
There's a lot of casualties.
You're mixing up centuries, man.
Well,
Civil War was in the The Civil War was in the 19th century.
I thought it was older than that. Like,
No.
as far as I know back in our history, it's like
1812. 1861 to 1865. Now, in 1812, we had the Canadians came down and sacked Washington, D.C. and began the War of 1812.
Yo.
Yeah.
With the bullshit still. But I'm a black man, right?
You are?
You don't say.
Yeah.
No,
Really?
You are. Prove
What? No way.
I believe you're a black man. Are you?
You just wearing blackface?
Man, you look blue.
I am blue. Am I blue?
In the War of 1812, some of my ancestors went down there and burned down the White House. Yeah.
Listen,
I'm a real king. I'm a real king, Chris. I'm not a king. I'm a real king.
Snow, look, you laugh. What's more expeditious? To gather up a bunch of conscripts over in England and ship them over to the United States to have a war, or just merely have some of your redcoats from Canada move south that are already on the land?
Oh, no, the motherfuckers with the redcoats.
What?
Proxy
What?
war.
Can't hear you,
Proxy
bud.
war.
So, with you have a blue face,
what?
And you telling me this shit, and you said believe.
You talking to me?
I
Are you
believe in you,
speaking
bro.
Swahili? What is this? I can't understand this guy.
That motherfucker face,
brother.
Blue.
You talking about me?
Bro, he's rolling on that good MDMA, boy.
Are you talking about me, Chris? Are you talking about me? Are you talking to me?
I'm on the
Pointing
shit.
don't work, man. You gotta say names or something.
Listen, I don't know what you've been smoking or whatever, but you're gonna come on back when you're not fucked up or whatever.
He's on a drug that hasn't been named yet.
Ayahuasca.
I don't even know what the fuck.
And he's pointing at me. He's pointing at me.
I didn't know who he was talking about.
Just pointing, I couldn't tell what.
I've got a general question. When we were talking about when they said ceasefire, and he's talking about Russia and both of us now maybe on some kind of level playing field, and options are on the table maybe. But what I was going to ask all of you is, if you're cool, Saab, with me, bringing up the subject, is there's drones in the air over all of our airspace right now.
Have you seen them?
What's gonna happen with that? Yeah, I've seen quite a few actually here in Georgia.
I've
seen a
TikTok,
plasmoid
though.
as well.
The only place I've
I've
seen
seen
them.
them.
Only place I've
go
seen
ahead.
them is on X and YouTube. That's the only place I've seen them. I was told that
Yeah,
they
there's
were
quite a
flying
few.
around Virginia. I haven't seen any.
I heard TikTok has a fleet of drones though as well. TikTok drones.
Are you asking? Are we supposed to be
They
scared
may,
of
they
them
may.
or something?
Well, no. The reason I'm asking is because they're all over fucking military bases. They're in the airspace of airports, and they're not being shot. They're not. Hold on. For one, they're not being shot down. For two, it's like
The military ain't leaving no drones up around the base. I promise you that, brother.
I mean, it is what it is. I don't know, but I've seen it myself.
Unless it's their drone. But
I was told 5 years ago that the hospitals were choked up and they had to have refrigerated trucks for all the bodies and shit. And on the news every day, they were showing me dead people counts and all this other shit. And you know how much of it I actually witnessed in reality, though? None.
Right.
None.
Yeah, me too.
So I don't know that there really are any drones. I've talked to people that were living right in the area where all these drones and shit were supposed to be in New Jersey and everything. And I was talking to them live right here on this show. And I said, do you see any of the fucking drones? They're like, no, I haven't seen anything, but I know somebody who saw one. It was the same thing as just like when they ran the coof by us. So is it possible that there are these drones? Yeah, it is. is it highly unlikely that the military wouldn't be doing something about it if they didn't know what the fuck they were and they are actually there?
Well,
Yeah,
yeah,
absolutely they would. Absolutely they
and
would.
and there's some coming out of the ocean, they said. But what my whole point was asking y'all this was, do y'all think this is another COVID situation where they're
It's a psyop.
testing people?
Is that what you're saying?
You're right. Is that what y'all think?
Are you saying that there's Smurf drones? Because the guy saw a blue face earlier. He
Oh,
thought
man.
that Saab was a blue face Smurf. Are you saying that there's drones coming out of the ocean?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've seen on video. I've seen drones here. Is what I'm saying.
Come out of the ocean. Come right up
In
out of the
Georgia.
water and into the
I
air.
mean, there's personal drones all over the place, but I don't think like the story you're getting sold isn't really what there is going on. I don't think. I could be wrong, but I don't think that.
I got you.
I've seen some really fucked up shit out there. People putting out these videos. Look from a Ring camera, and here's like some Spielberg looking UFO flying in toward the door and then going out through the yard. And I'm like, that's not even fucking real. What are you doing? You know,
a lot of hoaxsters. A lot of hoaxsters.
Well, it's not just that. There's constantly people this is the nature of the Archon is to get you believing things that are just not true. All the time. It's like they get a kick out of it.
Keep you in fear, man.
They get
It's
you
easy to control.
to twist your mind into believing shit that's not even true. I mean, you had all these people thinking that standing on a sticker and wearing a diaper on their face was going to save their fucking life from something that wasn't even there. I mean, this is how dumb people
and
are.
crawling under the table.
You just got to duck under it.
Yes. I mean,
and
it's
twisting
just
minds up into pretzels is what they're really doing.
It is, and then keeping them all distracted and in a constant state of fear at one degree or another. Oh, the Chinese are going to nuke us. Oh, the aliens are going to come and invade us. Oh, the fires are going to get us. Blah, 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 blah. Pretty soon, it's sort of like, a fucking scared animal caught in the headlights of a vehicle coming at them. Just kind of like, they freak out, don't know what to fucking do.
Well, that clip earlier with Trump was talking about World War III, and you don't know how close we are to. I mean, it's so obvious. I don't know how people can drink this Kool-Aid and be afraid of this stupid shit.
It goes back
On
and
one
forth.
hand,
Like,
he's
I know
talking
Trump.
peace, and at the other hand, he's talking mercy. Yeah, justice. I mean, justice and mercy are opposites.
Well,
I agree. I mean, I'm not afraid of any of it. I've never been like in fear, but I really have seen some UFOs and stuff. So
Don't fear
pretty
the
cool,
drone.
actually.
Don't fear
No, I
the
don't fear.
drone.
I don't fear.
I've seen the
Just
personal
look for
drones just
Smurfette.
before it
Look
came
for
out.
Smurfette.
I was going to ask you. Also, do any of y'all have like a zoom camera, like a P9000 or a P900
No,
or P1000?
no.
When you look up at the stars, at the luminaries, they're beautiful, man. They look nothing like what we've been told.
Well, no.
And,
You're looking at them
seen-
through a different technology too. When you look at through a telescope, you're looking through a series of convex and concave lenses and mirrors. And of course, if you've ever been in a fun house and they have that concave mirror where you can go in there and make your face look all big, or you can go look at the convex one and make it all small and shit like that, it's going to distort the image. We also have to take into account when you look at a light from a long distance, you're not really discerning a shape. You're only looking at the light. You're seeing the light. And like right here, these railroad tracks just down here in town, the train that goes by has these square rectangular lights on the front, a series of them, right? But when you look at it coming at you down the tracks, you just see a round white light. You don't see the separate rectangular lights that are down the two sides of the front and one up across it like a bar up on the top. You don't see that. You see it all as one big light. And so telescopes distort, and they do tend to make objects look round that aren't necessarily round. So
RG, do you believe that these stars are 10 trillion light years away?
Well, no, here's the thing. They don't know how far away they are, or even if they're a tangible object. To the best of our knowledge, they have no realm they have no place in the realm of science because they cannot be interacted with. They can't be examined any more than just looking at them, observing the supposed movements in the sky. nothing can be tested. No experimentation can be done. So as far as we're concerned, it may as well just be in the esoteric realm. I mean, we have this tendency to want to assume that we're looking through some kind of transparency out into the vastness of space, when in reality you might just be looking at the fucking ceiling of this place.
Planetarium.
Oh, just electrical impulses in your head. It's nothing more. Yeah, apparently. It's all just electrical impulses in your brain. Pretty soon they want to put the they want the thing in there. The guy couldn't play his video games anymore because they all retracted or something. The Elon neural net that they had in Buddy, so he could play his video games and probably fly drones and shit.
What?
Did they give him a lobotomy? He was paralyzed. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, he had a bad. He was already paralyzed, but I don't know the full story. But I know that he basically had a medical thing recently, or at least that's what I interpreted. I saw some footage. Then again,
Elon.
it could have been, Elon.
Oh,
right.
So this could all be a train set.
Krillin?
This could
Have
be
you
a
ever seen
train set.
Krillin photography? Sorry guys. You guys ever heard of Krillin photography?
Yeah, I was thinking about it.
Hold on, no one has.
I haven't.
I have. I said I did. Yes, Carillion photography.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I said it goes way back to
that's
the
so cool.
I was looking
Yeah,
into that. I brought it up in school, and I was still in primary school. I remember because I brought that up and I was discussing it with the teacher and a couple of the kids around there. And people were getting, I mean, they were learning some shit from it, but I was the one that brought it to the classroom. The teacher had never heard about it. And I brought her an article about it and everything like that, and we discussed it. And she found it to be very fascinating. Why do I keep doing this fucking shit? This is why, because I'm retarded. This is what I was trying to bring up right here. See, just because you look at something doesn't mean you're seeing what you think you see. Only one of those things is flipped upside down, or they're all upside down except for one. But then once you find it, then they'll all turn the other way. So are those in, and when you look at a one, you're going, oh, wait, no, those are, I'm looking at the top. No, I'm looking at them from the bottom. You can't tell. Now, outside of that, what else can you do but assume what you're seeing? Until you can actually interact with the objects, you cannot be certain of what you're seeing. And this idea that they've got these stars measured and know these distances and everything, it's like, no, you don't. How could you possibly know any of that? And that it's just because that's what they've been told and that's what they go by, and they get a special piece of paper that they buy because they memorize all that dumb shit. Doesn't mean any of it's true.
That's why they always say
experts in it. Well, I could be an expert in fucking Dungeons and Dragons. It doesn't make Dungeons and Dragons reality, does it?
No.
Nope.
I don't even believe in light years. I think that's all bullshit.
No, I don't either. Those distances don't exist.
Yeah.
Okay, those distances that they give you don't even exist in real life. They just don't. There's nothing that's going that far or that large. It's just nonsense. Shit that they make up. It dazzles your mind. And they throw these numbers a trillion. They do it with our national debt. Oh, well, the budget's such and such $1 trillion, and we have this many $1 trillion. Okay, let me put this into perspective. If you made $1 a second, 24/7, in other words, every hour of every day of every week, $1 every second, it would take you 31,780 years to acquire $1 trillion. Almost 32,000 years. That's how much $1 trillion seconds is. And our national debt's what, $36 trillion?
I've been saving up.
Debt to who? Walmart, Samsung? Who's your debt with, bro? I'll go sort it out for you.
Right. It's just an enslavement tool. It really is. And these people,
That's where I'm at with that.
The American people, their fucking memory is so short. It is so short. This is Snoop Dogg in 2017 as opposed to now. Check this out.
So ain't nobody gonna perform for Donald Trump, huh? Which one of you jigaboo ass niggas gonna be the first one to do it? I'm waiting. I'm gonna roast the fuck out of one of you Uncle Tom ass niggas for doing it. Which one of you niggas gonna do it first? Osborne's the one that performs for himself.
About noon, just walked out. I had to be in Compton soon. Before the day began, before my mother started bitching about my friends.
So
Yeah.
everybody gonna perform for Donald Trump.
There he is performing for Donald Trump.
Well, you want to talk about a compromised agent? You remember murder
No
was the case that they gave me, right? How do you
Yes.
think he got off that case?
Right? Yeah, here he is, 1, 2, 3, and they turn the volume up. Snoop
He'll
Dogg.
go whichever way you tell him.
Yeah, listen.
I don't like the way they say nigga all the time. Those rappers.
Yeah, it is. I'm offended by it.
It's just, I don't know.
I don't know. Would people
cringe.
get offended over that dumb
I'm not
shit?
offended, but it's just
No, I mean,
trashy.
really, it's
you
sort
know?
of like it is. It's overused. When in reality, if you want to look where the etymology of it comes from a bastardization of the word Negro, which is merely a word that means black.
Yeah,
And
I use the word
that's
Negro
all.
still, but
You know,
a lot of sometimes
it's a classification of race.
yes,
You know,
it is. It's accurate.
Negroid, Asiatic. You know,
There were a couple YouTubers arguing that with me. They said, "No way, that's not a scientific classification." I said, "Yes, it is. Negroid. It is."
I think
I told them to
racial
look it up.
humor is hilarious in all forms, and if it's it's just all a matter of context. But like humor used to lead in that era, now it's forbidden. And then
oh my God, I know. And that's what I was saying, to get offended and hurt by that shit. It's like, look, man, I grew up listening to George Carlin, Red Fox. And if you think Red Fox was like Sanford, no. A lot of people made that mistake, take their family to Vegas and say, oh, look, Fred Sanford's playing at the Venetian or whatever else, right? And they go there and listen to Red Fox, and that dirty son of a bitch is talking like, what? I mean, he was just laying it out there, nothing like the Fred Sanford character that he played up on the Sanford and Son show. Richard Pryor.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of that shit you could not ever even get it out today. There's no way. There'd be so many butthurt people, and it's like, look, I don't care if people make fun of white people. We have quirks, and it's funny. Okay, we do have stereotypical characteristics that we do, and I think it's funny, especially when I see black people mimic it. It cracks me up the same way as when I see a white guy mimic a black guy. I think it's funny as shit, because there are stereotypical intricacies that different cultures of people have.
What you talking about, fool?
What you talking about?
That's what makes it all go round, yeah.
But see, what I don't like to see is when people start getting themselves segregated into that, where, oh, I'm in this club, or I'm in that club, or I'm in the other club. Like, for instance, if somebody wants to come out like Vlad, he's like, there's not a lot of black flat earthers. And I said, and my thinking on it is, well, don't worry about that. We're just flat earthers. It doesn't matter what color you are. We're just people that have come to the realization of what the earth is not. Okay? So it doesn't matter if you're black, you're white, you're Chinese, you're whatever the fuck, it doesn't matter. Okay. I'm a mutt myself. I'm a mutt. My ancestors were kicked out of every decent country in Europe and other parts of the world. So, I come from an honest, and, yeah, I don't give a shit. Call me whatever you want. It doesn't, what somebody else says has no bearing on my existence in reality unless I accept it. That's the only way that works. If I accept it, then that's another story, and that's on me. But if I can look at it,
in the power of the mind.
Yeah, I could see how you see that. I could see how you see that. Yeah, absolutely. I look through that in somebody else's eyes. I go, yeah, okay, I can see how you get that, right? And that's a healthy way to be. Not like, ooh, You mimicked me and I'm upset. You know, just like fuck all that. You know, there's no reason for it. I did find a video that I've been looking for a long time now.
Is it a plasmid?
In the last 5 years, and you may have heard me talk about this before, about these two different girls, different places, that were supposedly possessed, and they were under the arrest of a Catholic priest spiritually. And the things that they had to say about the events that were going on in the last 4 years, 5 years, very, very telling. Check this out.
Scott, look at me. You're arrested. Is the part of your kingdom set? Is it?
But she won't take it.
What happens if she takes it? She's yours. How? It's just it's team. No, but it's
Let me notice the serpent.
the serpents. What serpents? That shows medicine, the serpents. Is that what you're talking about? No, I don't believe you're talking nonsense. So you work through pharmakia, witchcraft. So is it all part of your plan? I arrest you in the name of Jesus. Part of your plan.
When they use that word pharmakia, they are using the V word. Okay? They're talking about the
Yeah. Black magic in it.
She already knew that.
So he's got black magic in it. So what happens when people take it? What is going to do to the people in the long run? Kill them before repentance. When are they going to die? When are they going to start dying? What's the plan? You don't know. But he's going to kill them. Does he protect them from COVID?
Not at all.
Not at all. But they say it protects them from COVID. So you say it doesn't at all?
Because they were also working with them.
Who?
The ones that say
Really? Now, why do they want to kill the people?
that Jesus have all his soul.
Why is Jesus coming soon?
Yeah.
So they're trying to kill as many as they can before he comes. When is he coming? Soon. You don't know. No one knows. But we know it's soon, right? Time is short, right? So where have you been every time we've cast you out? Waiting. Waiting for what?
This is a different woman. This is a completely different woman.
Oh, waiting for a good place to come back. What's a good place to come back? Door. So you're waiting for a door to be opened. What doors do Christians open for demons to come in? Unforgiveness, hatred, and fear. Everybody's so.
Man, there's one.
They know. Not all. What is it? Isn't it just medicine? It's medicine. It's helping people.
Harming people.
It's helping people.
It's harming people.
But it's from doctors. The doctors say we must take it.
They work with us.
Do they know they're working with you?
Some yes, some do.
Not all, though. So what's I don't understand. What's in there? I command you, tell me in the name of Jesus. Luke 8 verse 17, look at me. Luke 8 verse 17, look at me. Luke 8 verse 17, there's nothing hidden that will not be made manifest. Nothing secret that will not be known. Is that the word of God? Yes. Who's the word? Jesus. So do you have to obey the word?
Yes.
So what's in that's black magic? Witchcraft. So as soon as someone gets, do they immediately get demons? Oh, they open the doors and then the demons come in.
Yes.
But now what if I got and then I repented of it? What if I took and
You know what happens.
and I decided that I want to
You
repent?
know what happens.
Tell me what happens. They get freed. So if they take, there's still a way out, right?
Yes.
What,
Yes.
What is the way out?
Jesus.
Jesus. He's always the way.
Yes.
So all these people, they can just choose Christ and repent. And that door's closed.
Yes.
Sit up straight in Jesus' name, I command you. And that door's closed.
Yes.
Is the in itself harmful to people? Or is it just the open door?
It's harmful.
Is it harmful?
Yes.
Wow, what is it going to do to people?
Take the souls if they don't know.
How's it going to take their souls?
They're going to go to hell.
If they take
Yes.
Why?
Because we've won.
You haven't won.
They don't know. They don't repent.
Thoughts?
Oh, I thought that was a Keytruda commercial with people suffering from bipolar 1 and 2 disorder. I'm joking.
See your doctor
Yeah,
about Tramadol, right?
Yeah,
What I
people-
find interesting is that both of those
Pharma by
women,
magic. Sorry.
both those women said pretty much the same thing. You know, and it in a way it seems like it does make sense. You know, I don't know. Do you? I've been looking for that video for a long time, and then I just ran across it again. I saw that. Well, it was hard to see because they took it off, as that was back during the whole purge of anybody saying anything bad about that shit. And I finally found it, and so I was able to download it too. And I was like, "This is." I've been looking for this for a long time because I do believe that. Like I saw somebody in the chat said that they worked at a hospital as maintenance for a while, and they said there was really a bad vibe in there. I can dig that. Get a real good vibe around hospitals either. You got to figure a lot of people in there that are in really bad vibe states. Okay, not just the patients who are in there worried about what's going to happen to them, or they're dying or have died, and traumatically perhaps. You got that ER where they're bringing people in there that are in trauma continuously. You know, so there's this bad vibe. And then from the people around that are there as loved ones that are worried about their father who's in surgery, or the people who have just been told that their grandmother didn't make it on the operating table, or, you know, you've got a lot of bad vibrations going on around there, a lot of negative psychic, human, emotional energy. And I think that's one of the reasons that people don't ever really get fucking better in a hospital. They end up not getting better till after they leave there and go home, if they do at all. You know?
Yeah, I had to fly out to see my aunt right before she passed during the coof, and being in that hospital out there, it was a miserable time. I mean, I love my aunt, but I wanted nothing more than to not be in there anymore. It was not fun to be at that place at all. The whole
Well, if
experience.
anything, it was probably to make us more malleable, you know, going along with that witchcraft stuff. It'd probably make us more malleable to their influences, if you get what I mean. Possibly, because it seems like they all act in a certain way now, like they all go straight legion. Like, I'm actually concerned about Trump supporters versus what? You know, they can't create a civil war because they don't control everyone's emotions the way they want. Not all the way.
Well, I mean,
I gotta
what would the Civil War? How would even the battle lines be drawn up on that?
with the opposition, right? The controlled opposition, guys like Mel Gibson, all of a sudden getting a whole bunch of airtime talking about the church and everything else, or whatever he says. Not that I.
Well, what I'm getting at is that the opposition is galvanized. In other words, they're all mixed together. It's not like when we had the events of 1861 or even the events of 1776, whereas there were clearly drawn lines, not so much in the Revolutionary War, but more so in the Civil War. Because these were actually sovereign nations, sovereign countries that banded together to keep the nation that they had founded in the first place, as some dictatorial asshat in the North decided otherwise. That's why it was known as the Second War of American Independence. Now where we're at, it's not divided by location. It's not divided by region. It's you have what would be the sides? That's what I'm trying to get at. What would be the two? It's too many facets for it to even be any kind of a civil war. I mean,
the only way it works is if the boot gets big enough.
What?
The only way it works is if the boot gets big enough, right? Like it gets that bad where you just see the boot all the time on the protesters' throats and stuff. Like that's when you know it's getting ugly. The crowd will let you know. You won't have to go outside to see it. You'll see it. You know, you'll feel it.
Yeah, but see, when you that going on, you've got one segment of the populace that's going, yay, crush that boot down harder, and the other side of the opposition that's going, no, this is getting out of hand. So once again, you know, it just reeks out into a chaos. I'm just curious as to see what the hell is actually going to happen, if tomorrow is actually going to happen. We're seeing a lot of things changing to the point where they're like wanting to they moved the inauguration indoors, and they're saying it's because of the cold, and I could believe that. We're looking at 25 degrees right now, and they're saying it's going to get down even colder overnight. So
-2 here. It's colder now.
Yeah, we just got this dust and the snow that came down too. Luckily, I don't have to work tomorrow, so I don't have to worry.
It feels like this whole, like, I don't know, just like Trump's ushering in the sheep to slaughter. It's like he's setting up something. You know, look what happened the last time he was in office, honestly, you know, right towards the end. Look what happened. But, you know, he's wanting to bring in Bitcoin. It's almost, I don't know. I have no idea what's going to happen. Nobody really does. But it's like he's wanting to push Bitcoin and all this and that. It's like, you know, setting up all these people for failure if something goes bad with that. And it's like, I don't know. I mean, it's many things could happen, but it just, there's a weird vibe about it.
Well,
Yeah,
I know that
commercials.
Bill Gates has been lobbying Congress nonstop recently.
Yeah, that too. Those
to
two are-
block the release of the Epstein client list. And I guess that Pam Bondi said that on day one she's going to just do it. So I don't know. We'll see what comes about from that. This is a little news clip from that here, I guess, was on.
I'm from the show me state.
Yeah, right.
When I see it.
That's where I'm at too. You talk a good game, but you know, a tree is
Yeah.
judged by the fruit that it bears, right?
I've heard a lot of things so far.
I want to know why AG Garland and the Justice Department are so quiet on this tonight. You know, they're out there labeling parents domestic terrorists, yet they're saying nothing about this. And these documents were so slow to come out. Human trafficking is a multi-billion-dollar business in this country, and Jeffrey Epstein is dead, and Ghislaine Maxwell is in prison for 20 years where she belongs. And if people in that report are still fighting to keep their names private, Sean, they have no legal basis to do so unless they're a child, a victim, or a cooperating defendant by some chance against some potential case against Ghislaine Maxwell. And I think Mark Garagos, as a great criminal defense attorney, will back that up as well.
You know, Mark,
I want to know why.
Now, that's very good questions, man. And I wonder, is anything going to come from that? I doubt it.
She wasn't even the original pick either. You know, they had to kick somebody out to bring her in. So
What is this?
Something got
Kid Rock. We had Kid Rock up in DC rocking the house.
Oh boy.
I better not show this Dave Chappelle thing or I'll get some kind of copyright. What's this? Alex Jones said, Trump, quote, by the time the sun sets tomorrow evening, the invasion of our borders will have come to a halt. What?
There's another one. He's got a lot to do.
Yours is going to be a busy ass day tomorrow. I'll tell you what.
He's got a lot to do in a day.
He's talking like Jesus, isn't he? Right? Like he's
Yeah, a
going to
little
move
bit.
mountains. And...
By the time the sun sets tomorrow evening, the invasion of our borders will have come to a halt, and all the illegal border trespassers will in some form or another be on their way back home. By the time...
Wow.
Back home.
I know he's the vice president, but you sure haven't heard a whole lot out of Vance lately.
No. Let's see here. What does this say? Brother Nathaniel said it is only declassified if his name's a Jew as a primary conspiracy theorist against the American people. So
he's the good rabbi, right?
Is coming to DC. Buckle up. Well, he talked a lot of shit tonight.
As a first step toward restoring transparency and accountability to government, we will also reverse the overclassification of government documents. And in the coming days, we are going to make public remaining records relating to the assassinations of President John F. Kennedy, his brother Robert Kennedy, as well as Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., and other topics of great public interest. It's all going to be released, Uncle Sam.
That's
His
like
whole little logo is 45-47. 4 and 5 is 9. 4 and 7 is 11.
Yeah. He had to do the 9/11. They had to give him that.
Oh.
Yeah.
And I will direct our military to begin construction of the Great Iron Dome missile defense shield, which will all be made in the USA.
Because it did so well the last time.
Yeah.
And we will get wokeness the hell out of our military immediately and make it like it used to be as a first step toward...
Get wokeness out of the military immediately.
What does that mean? The word woke, like it depends.
What, everybody's gonna go back to sleep?
Is he going to kick out the gays out of the military? Is it going to be
Dude,
no
dude,
more
that's-
I don't know
fads?
if you're allowed to say that. Are you?
He said make it like it used to be.
I doubt
Yeah.
that it is.
I know how it used to be. They didn't tolerate that nonsense.
Probably go back to don't ask, don't tell, if anything.
You took the words right out of my mouth, bro. Yeah.
We didn't even have don't ask, don't tell.
Oh,
they,
yeah.
we
It was
asked,
before
That
then,
was
yeah.
before my time.
they ask, and if you don't tell and they find out, you're out, buddy. That's all.
We had good old blanket parties.
Yeah.
I probably shouldn't have said that, but yeah.
Yeah,
They had
did.
no tolerance for the queers.
No.
I think that Trump might use the Space Force to kick the Mexicans out over the border. I think that's how he's going to protect the border, Space Force.
Space
we need an
Force.
Iron
Oh
Dome.
yeah, we need a couple Carillion battle cruisers. Up there. You know,
The Millennium
Some
Falcon.
cloaked Klingons, maybe some cloaked Klingons.
well, I don't know. We could just easily, just dust off Shatner and get the old Enterprise, the old one.
There's big triangles out there. I'll tell you what. Okay, there's big triangles out there.
NC 1701, not A, B, C, D, or E, man. We're talking about the original one, man. The one like that.
Yes,
It's
Space,
Shatner.
the real Space Force.
And all you got to do is give him a little bit of liquor and a green bitch every once in a while. He's happy.
Yeah, green bitch. They could call them the illegal aliens. It's a battle against the illegal aliens. Use that
Well,
term
they got
again.
They got amnesty aboard the Enterprise. See, that's how that works. So this is interesting here. The real reason for the banning of TikTok originally, and this is what a Chinese dude had to say about the actual ban on TikTok. I thought it was interesting.
很多的犹太团体盯着 TikTok， TikTok 上面支持加沙走廊的70%，然后对不起，支持以色列不到1%，70比1。 你说犹太人怎么受得了 ？TikTok 无意中就得罪犹太人，犹太人的力量在美国绝对比川普更可怕。
对的。
所以现在一发动，你看两党都赞成了，为什么？以前两党不是问题吵来吵去吗？为什么不吵了？就是犹太力量在后面推。因为为什么会弄出说，要么你收摊子，要么你卖给美国人？其实不是，卖给犹太财团，就没事了。很多的犹太团。
So he's basically saying it's due to the Jewish influence in our government and the fact that TikTok.
What is it?
People started seeing stuff on TikTok and now on X. I mean, one of the biggest things that woke a lot of young people up and a lot of other people were the AI translations of the Mustache Man's speeches. When you hear it spoken like in English, when it's spoken in German, along with the passionate way that the man delivered his speeches, he sounds like an angry man wanting to do bad shit. And of course, that's the broad stroke brush that you're painted with. But when you listen to what he's saying, it's like, holy shit, right on, bro. That's what's going on here now.
Yeah.
That's what happens. And a lot of people saw that and it woke a lot of people up to this. And right now, the Jewish lobby is freaking the fuck out because their whole narrative about this bullshit is crumbling before their eyes. And people are not buying into it. And a good sign of that was the lack of support that they actually had with their October 7th tragedy and all that bullshit.
Remember
fuck Israel. You know, I mean, that's where basically what people were saying. You know, we're tired of your bullshit.
The whole thing with that ceasefire too. It's like, what the hell's left of Gaza anyway? Like they just went and destroyed the whole place. It's like, oh boy.
Well,
We came to a ceasefire. It's like, yeah, because there's nothing left to bomb anymore.
There's nothing. Yeah, that's nothing. No targets left or no hospitals left to bomb. Well, you know, the Jews weren't kicked out of Europe over 100 times because people don't like pastrami sandwiches and kosher pickles. I mean, it was a little bit more, more than that.
Look. If I had 109 fucking wives who have divorced me, I don't get to say it was them, not me. I don't get to say that. Okay, because it's painfully obvious that it was me, that I was the problem.
Well, I think it's a lot of the useful goy that are the ones running it. And I think in the end, they're going to cut all these useful goy and they're going to become, you know, unnecessary eaters like the rest of us. And
the politicians, the traders, you mean, the sellers?
Yeah, when some of those mid-level guys start to put themselves in the start getting treated like shit. So it might happen. You know, that's what
they should be put on trial for treason, is what you're saying, right?
I'm saying that eventually somebody's going to get generous and, you know, start making plans that don't include the government.
And this is kind
like
of
$1 billion goes a long way. $1 billion goes a long way, believe it or not.
This is kind of a scary little partnership here. I'm sorry. I'm just kind of uneasy about this. Listen to this thing.
Did you see his rocket yesterday? It was captured.
The one that blew up?
Yeah, blew up.
It fucking blew up, Donnie. He showed a film strip of the one that they did supposedly catch with the little chopstick thing catching it. Get the fuck out of here.
Can I just ask a question, though? What would they do to traders in China if they had politicians behaving like you showed earlier with the ones that are loyal to Israel?
What am I told they would do, or what do they actually do? I have no idea what they actually do.
Yeah.
For all I know, China might be a fucking paradise. Same thing about North Korea. All I have are the stories and shit that are told to me by a propaganda-laden government. So I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm told that they would just go ahead and shoot them.
You don't really hear a whole lot. Supposedly they just disappeared.
You know, I have to be really careful because they say, well, what do you think could happen in North Korea? I don't know, and neither do you. That's what I tell people. It's like all you have is a story given to you by a heavily propaganda-influenced press. That's all you have.
I just think we're too easy on these traders.
Oh, I do too. I absolutely do. I don't give a shit what some other country does about it. I know what we should do about it. And I know what our Constitution calls for. You know, and it's not a slap on the wrist. either. In many
Let's take it
cases,
back,
it's
John.
punishable by death, or like at the very least, life imprisonment. So
why do you think? Why do you think that Trump is blowing Elon so much lately? Like, what's their connection? Where
that's
it
what
just
I'm not
seems,
so easy about. That's what I'm
yeah,
uneasy about, man. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? This guy runs a social media platform. He's got supposedly some kind of a private space company. What is really around? What are they got cooking up? Why are they really? They're really pulling this guy out there all the time too.
He's slowly consolidating his monopoly. Like he's just buying
maybe
everything up little by little.
maybe there's an Elon Island or something that Trump's been to. I don't know. Like
You
this
never know.
this is very weird.
Yeah, but listen, Epstein was not that island was not the only one. There are islands in the Great Lakes in Michigan. There are all kinds of other little Caribbean islands and around
There's
the
a lot of
Virgin
tunnels too.
Islands, and there's in the Philippines, and there's down around South America. There's
Oh
all
shit, yeah,
over the fucking place, man.
yeah.
This shit's been going on for centuries. You know, look at that. Where was they taking? Where was they taking Pinocchio and all those fucking kids off to? Right? They were taking them off to that island, right? Where they were
Yeah.
gonna yeah.
Peter Pan.
Yeah. I mean, come on. There was a whole bunch of there's it's right in your face. It's
Going
right
with
in your face.
the land of misfit toys.
Right.
I don't trust Elon.
No, I don't trust him either. And I don't think Elon is really the guy.
I don't
I
even
think
think
that
he's
he's
smart.
a front man for something else. I really do. I don't think he's really highly intelligent.
No.
I do praise him as being an African American business owner. I think that's awesome. But
He's South American, isn't he?
here's what he's got to say on it. He's like,
And X is with him. X. Come on, Eli, say a couple of words.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. President. Sorry, little X just followed me on the stage here. He's a very enthusiastic supporter,
Little X?
as you can see.
he named his fucking kid X. What?
His mom's a witch too, a real witch.
Yeah, I know. I've heard that. What is his name? X? Is it for maybe Xavier or something? I don't know.
SpaceX.
So
what's he holding? Yeah.
we're looking.
It's an auction.
We're looking forward to making a lot of changes, and you know this victory is the start, really. What matters going forward is to actually make significant changes, cement those changes, and set the foundation for America to be strong for a century, for centuries, forever. So. And make America great again.
Kind of like maybe 1,000-year Reich of sorts, I guess.
Yeah. So, yeah. So anyway, we're gonna do great things here. Thank you.
Thank you, Elon.
The kid's fucking Neuralink shorted out, man. Like jumping all over the fucking place.
Isn't one of his other kids a troon too, or something? I think.
What is
Looked
it?
like he was holding
One
an
of his
auction
other kids
paddle
is
up.
like a troon or something. I think.
Poor kid's a science project. I mean, goddamn.
When did they let Trump back on PBS? In his first go around, Trump's first go around, he talked nothing but shit about the guy.
So here's some shit. It said that this was put out by Elon Musk. He said, as I said a few years ago, Biden was not in charge. Whoever controlled his teleprompter was. Speaker Johnson spills the tea. Joe has been signing executive orders without knowing what he's signing and not remembering what he's signed. We had a thorough investigation into how this could happen. It's the biggest scandal in presidential history. So this motherfucker, I said that. I said, I don't think that guy even is aware of what he's fucking doing. They're just putting shit in front of him and saying, here, sign this, Mr. President. Okay, what is it? Oh, it's a request for another dish of ice cream, sir. Oh, yes, okay, I'll sign it. You know, I mean, this guy, he's worked. Anyway,
Speaking of Pinocchio, Mike Johnson, that guy looks like a marionette, doesn't he? He's just Trump's puppet.
This guy?
Yeah. Doesn't he look like a marionette?
He
looks
does.
like Pinocchio.
He looks like a scumbag.
No, that too.
I do stand by it, and I say this without any personal animus at all. I mean, in some ways, I actually kind of feel sorry
I'm
for
a
Joe
real
Biden. I mean,
boy.
he's in the twilight years of his life. He is not, obviously, has not been in charge for some time. And I know this by personal observation, and now the whole world knows it. And it's been very, very concerning to me over the last, year and a half since I've had this
Can you
position.
tell us a story when you say personal observation?
Hang on, we're gonna get in that. Ironton Otter, what to say, bro? Haven't seen you in a long time. We got a bunch of people joined us in here too. We got Awakened Nemesis, Shannon Emerson's here, Mike Smith, Brad and Tasha, one or the other or both. Either way, we're happy to have them. DJ New Moon's coming here with us. Autodidactic Girl. There's Renee Bernays. I've seen a few of your comments come through. I see it now. Thank you. I know. It's hard sometimes, man. It's hard sometimes. It's been Sunday. Good morning. Sunday morning. So it's National Bong Day at my house. So, that's every day too. So never mind. Anyway.
Put it on the calendar.
Yeah, I figured spend it with y'all I got for a bit. All right. Well, good enough. Great to have you here, Terry. Go ahead and click that link if you want to come up too. That's awesome. Anyway, let's hear the story that Pinocchio has to say.
Barry Weiss, the Jew.
It's public now because the Wall Street Journal got it and put it on the front page. But January a year ago, almost exactly a year ago, I became speaker in October 2023, and there were all sorts of big national security concerns and everything going on. And I started requesting a meeting with the president because, I'm kind of old school. Speaker of the House should be able to talk to the president, especially in times of great national interest and calamity. But they wouldn't let me meet with him, and his staff kept giving me excuses. This went on for like 8 or 9 weeks. I'm sorry, Mr. Speaker, he doesn't have time. What are you talking about? I'm second in line of the presidency. He has time. I need to talk to him. We had, I can't say the classified parts, but we had some big national concerns at the time that I was losing sleep over. Finally, I just went to the Hill Press Corps and I said, the president is not being allowed to meet with the speaker. There's a problem. So they started putting pressure on him. Long story short, they finally relented. They invited me to the White House. I show up and I realize it's actually an ambush because it's not just me and the president. It's also Kamala Harris, Chuck Schumer, Hakeem, the CIA director, everybody. And then, so I walked in the Oval and, I know what this is. They're going to hotbox the speaker on Ukraine funding. That's what it was. This is probably third week of January. We sit down, we're in the midst of it, and the whole conversation, and I'm going, we don't need to have this conversation. The president reaches over just like this. We're sitting right next to the fireplace in the Oval, and he grabs my arm and he says, the speaker and I just need a couple minutes together. Would y'all just leave us alone? And I looked up on the faces of some of the staff standing around the wall, and they're like, oh, no, he did it. So he called it. He's the commander in chief. So everybody leaves. He and I are standing awkwardly in the middle of the Oval Office, right over the rug by that coffee table. And I said, Mr. President, thanks for the moments. This is very important. I got some big national security things I need to talk to you about that I've heard, and I think you know, and what do we do? But first, real quickly, Mr. President, can I ask you a question? I cannot answer this from my constituents in Louisiana. Sir, why did you pause LNG exports to Europe? I don't understand, liquefied natural gas is in great demand by our allies. Why would you do that? Because you understand, we just talked about Ukraine. You understand you're fueling Vladimir Putin's war machine because they got to get their gas from him, And he looks at me stunned with this, and he said, I didn't do that. And I said, Mr. President, yes, you did. It was an executive order 3 weeks ago. He goes, no, I didn't do that. And he's arguing with me. I said, Mr. President, respectfully, could I go out here and ask your secretary to print it out? We'll read it together. You definitely did that. And he goes, oh, you talk about natural gas. Yes, sir. He said, no, you misunderstand. He said, what I did is I signed this thing we're gonna conduct a study on the effects of LNG. I said, no, you're not, sir. You paused it. I know. I have the export terminals in my state. I talked to those people this morning. This is doing massive damage to our economy, national security. It occurred to me, Barry, he was not lying to me. He genuinely did not know what he had signed. And I walked out of that meeting with fear and loathing because I thought, we're in serious trouble. Who is running the country? I don't know who put the paper in front of him, but he didn't know.
Man, what the fuck? And I said that was most likely going on. He's just signing shit they put in front of him. He don't know what it is.
Oh my gosh.
I don't even know if he's signing anything. Is he even capable of that?
Well, yeah, he can do that easy, but does he actually comprehend or know what it is he's signing? Some
I
guy
just meant
brings him a
actually
paper.
move.
Oh yeah, do a weekend at Bernie's type thing on him, I guess. But yeah, I mean, they really that actually classifies, in my opinion, as elder abuse. You know, if you really think about it, it
Yeah,
does.
absolutely.
Yeah.
So let me see here.
His guardian angel, Jill.
Yeah, guardian angel, my ass. Listen,
I had this really stupid thought about the trumpets, right? The 7 trumpets, right? The biblical thing. I don't know about it, but I thought the 7 trumpets, like how many female trumps are there, right? Well, I always thought it was odd. The 7 trumpets was where they're going to inherit this whole.
I can't barely hear what you're saying, dude.
I can't either.
The
Your
7
microphone is really bad.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I was about to dip out anyways. Yeah.
All right, man.
He's opening seals and stuff in the Vatican. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that was some wild shit too with that ceremony with the Pope, and I don't know. And I don't know. There's a lot of stuff going on. And it's like all at once, and it all seems to be connected. But connected how? That's the thing. I mean, it's loosely connected. I look at it, and you can find reference to this in Jubilees. We're hearing talk of ending the Federal Reserve, things that got somebody else obliterated in Dallas in 1963. And this man's out there talking about it. And I don't know. Are we seeing is there going to be some kind of a change? We also have this planetary alignment, supposedly, that the last time it happened like this was in 1776. We reference, hey, 1776, that's right. That's when the Americans signed the Declaration of Independence, but it's also when they reemerged the Illuminati with Adam Weishaupt in 1776, May, I believe. So I don't know, man. I don't know. A lot of strange shit going on. A lot of strange
Which
shit.
Biden is Biden, and where? How do Trump's ears heal so fast?
Well, it didn't heal. He never got
McDonald's.
shot. He let it slip.
Yeah.
He let that slip. Hang on, I got to get my dog. Talk amongst.
Well, that's what I mean. He never took any damage to that ear. Nobody's ear heals in a day like that. There was no damage.
I know.
And there's a lot of Biden.
You don't grow back cartilage, and he let it slip that was a performance, anyways.
Yeah.
In an
it's
interview,
true.
I mean, and it was.
Well,
I
he's
mean,
an actor after all. Like he's an actor, and a lot of people sometimes forget that. They forget that Trump's been acting for decades. So
almost
kind
all
of funny.
IMDb's.
Yeah, that's a big thing here. It said Trump reaffirms his commitment to declassify documents. Just seeing if there's anything new on this. I'm keeping my eyes peeled on anything current coming out because, like I said, this is right now. I think DC is like a powder keg. It's like a charged powder keg. There's groups forming up here over at the Lincoln Memorial near the reflecting pool. I got people that are there in opposition.
Whatever
They've had to
happened
move
with
the venue, you know.
whatever happened with them building that wall around the Federal Reserve? I never really heard much about that afterwards.
I don't know. I have no idea anything more about it. There was one guy, and he's kind of just like a freelance dude that rolls around through DC and gets photographs at certain events and things like that. And he's called Penguin 6, I think, on YouTube. And he sells, like, he'll get good photographs and shit and sell them to the Washington Post and things like that. And he covered it a little bit, but then I haven't seen it.
Kind of disappeared.
Yeah. Somebody might even put a bug in his ear. I mean, he lives right there in DC. So somebody might have said, you can just stop doing this now. I don't know. I don't know. Let's see if he's still active. Let me see if I can find anything from him.
I wouldn't live anywhere close to that place.
Has anyone here seen how black and demonic Biden's eyes got over the years? I mean, they're almost as black as Ian's from We Are Awake TV. They're really black, super black.
Let me see.
Well, if you don't vote for him, you ain't black, man.
Yeah, he ain't black like his eyes. But a lot of people in the chat say there's a lot of different Bidens. I agree. There's every time I look at Biden, almost it seems like a different creature, creepy creature.
So his last video was up 10 hours ago. Long lines for the Trump victory rally in DC. No, I don't. And I think that's only how long is that? It's a 30-minute video. I haven't looked at it yet, but I think he's just basically covering all the people that are there for the inauguration and the victory celebration that they're doing, which I guess he did that tonight. And that's where he was talking with Elon and all these wonderful things that he's it's all going to be happening tomorrow. Okay. So they're going to shut down the border and start the mass deportations tomorrow. They're going to declassify all the Kennedy shit. They're going to declassify all the Bobby Kennedy shit and the Martin Luther King shit and a pony for everybody. And, it's just
Where's
like
my 40 acres.
Yeah, right. 40 acres and a mule and all kinds of wonderful shit that,
And meanwhile, screw all the fire victims, North Carolina, East Palestine.
Fuck them, right?
Where you got your votes, forget you now.
Yeah.
Forget about them.
Yeah, and it's right now colder than
we're gonna save TikTok. We got better things to save.
Yeah,
save TikTok.
Jesus Christ, when people actually like that.
I wonder when the pictures or video will come out exposed with Trump and Elon in bed together. I mean, they just seem like they're lovers or something. They're just, what is going on? There's something weird.
I think they're more of a steam room romance.
Bathhouse with Fauci.
Maybe they're getting the Svits, as they call it in New York, with the Jews.
That's what it is.
Maybe they're in the bankers. Yeah, they're in New York. Shit.
Yeah, that's basically all they got going on. No, I don't see. I don't think there's anything actual new going on with this. It's just the waiting game. I wanted to find this thing that that's interesting. So from how old is this? Wait a second. Let me just check this out. This came out when? Oh, this was a long time ago. Something about Diddy facing death penalty for killing Michael Jackson. But there is something interesting, and I wanted to bring this up just for food for thought too. And I saved it yesterday.
Did P. Diddy take out JFK and RFK?
It's possible that he went back in time. Were you here when that guy came on and was talking about that Jaron and them were teleported into a movie studio?
Teleported? What?
Yeah. Okay, so he said they flew in. This is no shit. I'm not kidding you. And this guy was serious. I thought he was fucking with me, right? And yeah. And he said, okay, so they flew into Antarctica, but then when they got there, they were getting off the plane, they were teleported into a 3D studio. And I was like, what? Teleported? Hold up a second. And he said, and inside there, he said they had a metal ball that they had floating using electromagnetics that they were hitting with a microwave beam to make it shine like the sun. And then it was really easy to prove if I could get Jaron to put a magnet on his arm, and if it stuck, that would prove that that's what they'd been exposed to.
So Jaron was there saying, beam me up, Duffy.
Yeah, I mean, I said, wait a minute. I asked the dude, I said, well, hold on a minute. You mean teleported, like Star Trek? He said, yeah.
Beam me up, Scotty, but beam me up, Duffy.
Now he wanted me to get a hold of Jaron and tell him that shit and get him to put a magnet. And I was like, well, why haven't you done it? And he says, because he blocked me. And I was thinking, well, yeah, if somebody came to me with some kind of crazy fucking story like that, I probably would too. I mean,
I'd entertain it for a little while at least
I
to
was
see
like,
how far out.
can't be serious. You cannot be fucking serious. Are you really serious? I mean, it would be so much easier to just use the, Unreal Engine 5 thing, like we've been seeing recreated, or to use the Amazon Studio where they do the like the Mandalorian.
Yeah.
You don't have to have a floating ball. You don't have to teleport people to another location seamlessly, like they don't even notice. I mean, that's just
you know what I thought was interesting though, is some like unrelated article. They found a penguin in Australia, and that was like one of the headlines when I read it. The first time they ever found a penguin in Australia. I don't know how far of a swim that would be, but
he was escaping.
Yeah, well, just one.
It was like the boy leaving the royal palace.
He flew there. The penguin flew there, I think.
Probably they're known for this. But this, I showed this the other night. This is pretty crazy. So a British Ministry of Parliament blows a whistle. Quote, my colleagues are elite PDF files who drink baby's blood. The British political elite practice an occult religion that involves the sacrifice of children and the consumption of their blood. So check this out. This is a part of it's an ad, and I'll skip through it. So
the British political elite practice an occult religion that involves the sacrifice of children and the consumption of their blood, according to Andrew Bridgen, the former MP who has joined a growing cohort of insiders to blow the whistle about the dark heart of the global elite. As Bridgen explains, these depraved rituals are an open secret in Westminster and form part of a sickening initiation ritual for newcomers, earmarked for a career involving status, power, and wealth. Although not everyone succeeds in passing the initiation trial, everyone understands the dire consequences of speaking out. Before we dive in, join the People's Voice Locals community if you haven't already, and sign up to become a member of the world's first ever cyber nation that truly believes in life, liberty, and the post-on children living in slavery have been liberated by Russian special forces in recent months, as Putin's adrenochrome task force continues working to destroy the international trade in children's bodies and their blood. The adrenochrome industry in Ukraine is larger than anybody thought possible, and Putin is determined to use the leads generated to destroy the global adrenochrome supply chain and punish those committing crimes against children, including the politicians and celebrities who are hooked on the drug he calls the devil's narcotic. According to Putin, Western elites have been consuming human flesh and drinking children's blood for centuries.
В западных элитах очень сильно желание заморозить существующее положение, несправедливое положение вещей в международных делах. Они привыкли столетиями набивать брюхо человеческой плотью, а карманы деньгами. Но они должны понять, что бал вампиров заканчивается.
The vampire's ball is coming to an end. And according to Andrew Bridgen, the British elite are terrified their supply of children and adrenochrome will dry up when the incoming Trump administration stops propping up Zelensky and handing Ukraine blank checks.
There's something wrong in our parliament when I'm attacking a Labour MP who I believe is a paedophile and I'm getting flack from my own party. Something wrong.
How many of the MPs would you say in Parliament do you think would be of that?
I've no idea. I've no idea, but we certainly had a bad record round here. I'm thinking about in Leicester. I mean, Jana. Pedophilia it's been rampant in Leicester. I don't. We had the Lord Jana case. He had been the MP there. Remember?
Yes.
Greville Jana.
Yes.
Died mysteriously of dementia just before his hearing of facts.
And how many other people would there have been connected?
You know, I've passed details of people who are engaged in child trafficking into the UK. Names of all those. They've gone to the government. Nobody wants to act. Nobody wants to act about it.
How big is this?
It's big.
How many?
Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds.
The globalist conspiracy against our children runs so deep that even MI5 and the National Crime Agency are implicated in covering up these heinous crimes. According to Bridgen, once you see the names involved, it all becomes chillingly clear.
How are they getting them in? Or is that...
I don't. They're flying them into small airports that haven't got fences around them. Lots of them in the UK.
Yeah, lots of small airfields.
Yeah.
You have a little biplane.
But I gave the government the names of the people and the name of the company they're laundering the money through, where the children were being taken to have their photographs taken. They thought they were going to go to school. These were for selling them to paedophiles. Nothing. No, it's gone to MI5. It's gone to the National Crime Agency. No one will act. And then when you see the names, you see why.
The names.
The names of the people. They are known names.
And so they're taking these children to who knows where, and they're doing who knows what to them.
Well, I'm told that they use them in the sex trade for about 3 years, and then they're worn out, and then they organ harvest them. No one's interested. No one wants to talk about it. No one wants to talk about lots of things.
Nobody wants to talk about the devastating scourge of child trafficking, a monstrous crime that shatters the lives of millions of children worldwide each year. But it's not just child traffickers. A whole industry exists to serve the evil predilections of the elite, including child trade agents, brothels, and organ harvesters. The demand for children has reached such horrifying levels that some women are getting pregnant solely to sell their babies to elite pedophile rings and organ traffickers operating on the black market.
What's your approach to selling a child?
Honestly, if it wasn't for this child who is merchandise, I wouldn't be able to do it. But the thing is, if there's a possibility to earn quite good money on it, why not? They offer 50 to 150,000. It depends.
Do you believe it's a good price, 50 for a child?
Without intermediaries, I'd say it's enough.
Enough for what?
To make up for those 9 months. Where else could a young person like me earn 50,000 in 9 months?
Have you thought what you'd buy with that money?
No, but if I could afford it, perhaps a nice car.
It really can't be.
Can you believe that shit?
The first thing I thought was there's a big difference between food and, abuse or whatever the other thing is. And then they use the one word that is a trigger word, trafficking, right? So you're either, and it's like a fine line between ritual and food.
But well, think about this woman's mind. Think about that woman's mind. That this baby to her is nothing more than a commodity. I mean, how do you get somebody to think that way? How do you get how does somebody make their mind work like that?
It's a wicked realm. It's demonic.
You'd be surprised what an abused dog will do if it's
demonic.
abused its whole life. It won't act
Maybe
rationally.
she was abused though. How do you know she was abused?
Yeah,
maybe she's just demonic.
You have no evidence of that.
Yeah, maybe she's just demonic. Greedy demon with no care for children, including one that she carried for 9 months.
Yeah.
It's all about money in this realm.
It's possible she was abused or whatever the case, but the bottom line is still remains that is a person right there that has no soul.
Yeah.
Obviously. I mean, I don't understand how you could relegate a child, especially your own offspring, as just a commodity. How does your mind have to work to do that? I mean, that's not human. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it isn't human. She has the morals of a cesspit. just a sewer.
Reptilian.
Yeah, yeah.
Reptilian. Yeah, 100%.
Well, they say we have a reptilian part of our brain, and
well, that's what they tell us. You know what? I think that's a load of shit. I do. And it's just more of that bullshit to try to instill this goddamn idea of evolution.
Evolution.
Yeah. And just say we're like them, that we were cold-blooded reptilian. I think it's a psyop.
I do too. I don't believe there's a reptilian part of your brain. Listen, they don't know nothing about this fucking thing. They don't know nothing about this thing. They think they do. And they map and they do all this other shit, but at the end of the day, they don't know nothing about the fucking thing.
That's why I like Jurassic Park so much.
Well, cloning's real, man, I think. I don't know.
We overstated the level of extreme evil that we're up against. If you think this level of depravity is confined to far-off places like Ukraine or other notorious hubs of corruption, think again. The same evil thrives right here in the United States, with adrenochrome dealers caught on tape brazenly flaunting their wealth. We've got all of the details after this important word from our sponsor. All of me. Specific body. Dr. Mary Gatter, the director of the Los Angeles branch of Planned Parenthood, was caught on video negotiating the price of very specific body parts favored by the elites who use the body parts in the consumption of adrenochrome. This undercover video is particularly revealing because Dr. Gatter specifically confirms she's willing to provide thymus liver parts to the prospective buyer. She also confirms that she has colleagues in other parts of California selling the same body parts to elite buyers.
Are we agreed that $100 would keep you happy?
Well, let me agree to find out from other affiliates in California what they're getting. And if they're getting substantially more, then we can discuss it.
Yes.
Again, the money is not the important thing.
No,
It has to be big enough that it's
but it is something to talk about. I mean, it's one of the first things that you brought up, right? So
we're able to get a liver thymus pair. You know, maybe that is $75 per specimen, and so that's for liver thymus pair, and that's $150. Versus if we can get liver thymus, brain hemisphere, and all that, then and so that protects us so that we're not paying for what we can't use.
Let me just figure out what others are getting, and if this is in the ballpark, and that's fine. If it's still low, then we can go for it. I want a Lamborghini. I said I want a Lamborghini.
Don't we all, right?
Yeah, exactly.
This is damning stuff, caught on camera, and yet mainstream media is attempting to run cover for Planned Parenthood and the elite they service. According to peer-reviewed medical literature, the thymus gland and the liver are the two main organs used in the production of adrenochrome. The thymus gland is a small organ that produces several hormones, including insulin, and it also regulates adrenaline. The thymus also influences liver functions through the hypothalamus pituitary gonad axis. It's no surprise that Dr. Gatter was caught negotiating the price of these body parts in Los Angeles, the home of Hollywood and the liberal elite. Actor Jim Caviezel, who will play Jesus in Mel Gibson's Passion of the Christ sequel, has gone on the record admitting that children are being kidnapped and trafficked by Hollywood elites. Blowing the whistle on the elite is a dangerous game, as Mel Gibson found out when he exposed the Hollywood entertainment industry as a den of parasites who feast on the blood of kids. But these brave truth tellers will be vindicated by history. Because the truth is, these occult rituals have been taking place for centuries, in all cultures, by the elite who have sold their soul to Satan. Nothing has changed except for the fact that people are waking up to the horrifying crimes of the elite.
My video on child sacrifice has been removed. I was explaining the occult origin of sacrificial rituals. It seems that this video upset the ruling class. Many social networks did as they were told in order to survive. I described in this video why young children were chosen. Why they had to be terrorized before the final ritual. I also explained that this ritual was an invocation to the demons. It wasn't just a question of removing the blood. It was about offering fear and pain to the demons, in exchange for a piece of immortality or success. It's one of the most despicable dark magic rituals. It's a contract with the devil for a moment of eternity. It's an elite that has been invoking demons to dominate mankind for thousands of years. it has become a business, in the eyes of all. There are many places around the planet where human beings have been sacrificed, sometimes en masse, and they have the same modus operandi. Capture the victims and subject them to trials of terror and suffering, so that the demons are magnetized and imprisoned when the human is killed. Very often, children were used to vampire their vital forces and give demons and dark magicians greater influence. For those who know how to see, these demons are still alive in the invisible world, at places of sacrifice. Some very sensitive people can feel their presence. Wherever sacrificial rituals have taken place, the demons still radiate. With the cycle of terror that we have been experiencing for several years now, the bodies of many people have been prepared for the ritual of terror, as in the old days. And this has been going on for months, with repeated messages from the terrorists and complicit mainstream media. All these thefts of children are not just trafficking for money or for blood. It's just the other side of the coin. They serve to strengthen the occult forces that want to dominate the human spirit. Certain forces have already worked to imprison souls in extreme and destructive fear. For those who know how to pray, take care to put all your powers of love into your words. Because what we need is an exorcism on a global scale. It can only be done with the love of Christ.
Exposing the truth about elite pedophilia, Satan's narcotic, and the depraved practice of consuming the blood of children is no small task. It's a dangerous game. But there's safety in numbers. Our more brave insiders are risking everything to shed light on this unspeakable scourge. Here at The People's Voice, we're determined to continue exposing the elites, but we need your help. Subscribe to the channel on Rumble and join the People's Voice Locals community to join our amazing team and gain access to exclusive...
So that's basically the gist of that entire thing. And this is something I want to impart to people, that the system has people, many people, into the idea that you are this, that you are this meat suit, that you are this physical incarnation, and it is possible that you have a soul. No, the reality of it is this, my friends: you are a soul that happens to possess a body at this particular juncture in your experience. First and foremost, you are a soul. This is all secondary. This isn't even real. This is just tangible, or what we would call tangible. So keep that first and foremost. You are a soul that possesses a body, not a body that possesses a soul. Because with that belief, that's where the inversion gets rooted, right there. What do y'all think about that?
Test on the boundaries of YouTube tonight.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what goes on. What the hell?
No, I agree. It needs to be shown.
Yeah, it does. And there's nothing there that hasn't been said already.
For you, it's funny how you're the one that gets in trouble when it's like they can do whatever they want, but if you shed light on it, it's like, oh, you're the bad guy. Like, okay.
Oh hell! Look at like Zetetic Warrior's got that fucking video still up.
Oh boy,
that's still up. He never got, and there was people reported that shit, man, and it's still up. Still up. If I did that shit, they'd bury my channel. It'd be gone. Not that I would even do something like that in the first place, but that should tell people something. And then what have I done that I'm over the target so hard that you're going to make it your mission to come after me or whatever? I'm like, what did I fucking do? Okay, you want to play ball? Let's play.
That should be at the top of the list of like bannable, or like taking your stream off, like having a kid on there like that. It's like, get out.
Oh my God, yeah. I don't know what the hell was happening there. And then to want to come up and say, I'm the self-prescribed fucking king of flat earth, and then have a problem with me. What do you got a problem with me for? You're the one that acted like an asshole. I didn't do nothing. You did.
Yeah. There's definitely something more going on to that story, but I'm done with that. That guy's sick.
Well, I know I hit a nerve when I started talking about that fucking missing time. I know that hit a nerve. Just the way Jaron reacted to it, boom, right off. Oh, we did too leave at this time, blah, 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 blah. I go, okay, well, then if I'm wrong, I'll admit I'm wrong. But I've not seen anything to suggest that what you're saying is true. None at all. So what actually took place for that extra day that you were just, hanging out in Pointras Arenas for a couple days and didn't bother going to no stores? You didn't go to no restaurants? You didn't walk around and take in the sights? You had to kill time? You mean to tell me you slept the entire time or something?
Yeah, and he's literally got videos himself about like no 24-hour sun in Antarctica, like questioning the same exact stuff that we're questioning. It's like, come on, man, like all the footprints in the snow and the shadows and everything. It's like, so it's okay when you did it, but now that people are questioning you, it's all of a sudden a big problem.
Exactly. And it was like I said, everybody out here was looking at that shit with the same scrutiny that they would do
through the same eyes.
If they hadn't have been on that trip, well, they would be looking at it exactly the same. They would be questioning all the same things. And if you don't think that's true, go and look at all the times that they've debunked on NASA videos and SpaceX videos and shit.
And what's the big problem about questioning it anyway? I mean, if it's true, if you did all the things you said, you would have no need to even defend yourself. Just forget about it.
Truth fears no scrutiny.
Right.
That simple.
When I saw the shadow, that was when my jaw kind of dropped when I saw the shadow, and then the vape controversy was just too dramatic for me.
Well, I was just amazed, beyond the shadows. Before I even noticed any of that, I had to wipe the tears from my eyes because I was laughing so hard at the prospect of this man who's middle-aged. Okay. I mean, he's well into his 40s at least, right? If not older. And he's out there marching around in the snow, yelling into his phone like a child, like an adolescent teenage girl yelling at her boyfriend over this phone, like marching around in the mall and just throwing a scene. And I thought to myself,
I didn't subject
what
myself
kind of an effeminate acting man-child are you?
Yeah, he's a weird one.
I'm surprised. And then with the shadows, and then when I'm looking at the shadows and I'm going, oh, whoa, that's problems. And I even told the motherfucker on Facebook, I says, man, you're a clown. I said, I'm surprised they didn't Kubrick your ass for that, man. I'm surprised.
Something I was going to bring up about earlier when you were showing that Trump video about him releasing the files on JFK and Martin Luther. Well, like TFE, it's like it's all after the fact, man. Like, you mean after all of these years, you're going to bring out those? You think we ain't going to get nothing but the final edit at this point? Like you think we're going to get the whole truth about that for real?
Exactly. And it's like the whole thing. I mean, it started out with deception right from the get-go. So that was already tainted. It was already contaminated. There was already the expectation of fuckery.
Yeah.
To begin with.
I still wish I could go. I still want to go on my own power.
I want to go to the north.
You can go. You just got to get the funds. Roger's going. Hook up with Roger.
No, they won't let me go.
$32,000, and the trip goes between December 14th and December 18th.
Just started
of 2025. That's what the
They
schedule
won't let
is.
me drill a hole half a mile down in the ice and go fishing, I bet, eh?
Yeah, no, that's not going to happen.
Some freshwater fishing out in the...
Well, no, that's just it. Antarctica, that's supposedly a landmass with a huge sheet of ice on it.
I still maintain the fact that, like, the players were chosen.
Lake Volstock.
The players were...
What were you saying, Chicago Cubby Bear?
I was just going to say that the players were chosen, and if anybody else had been picked, I don't think it would have been a different scenario. They may not have gone at all, whatever the case may be. I just think the whole thing would have been different.
Well, it was so obvious when they were having their like bachelorette fucking game show thing to give away a prize to go to the fucking Antarctic, right? The one guy who was like the most qualified to go was the first guy that they shit canned off of the whole panel.
Right.
And then chose Barbie eyelashes. You know, it's like, oh, okay.
Veruca Salt.
I'm like, what the fuck are we doing here? Who is this chick? I've never heard of her. Oh, I'm on some obscure fucking platform that nobody's ever heard of before. Oh, okay.
Who was the guy that got cut first? Sorry.
I can't remember what his name is.
I don't remember his name. Somebody in chat.
I remember talking about him, but I don't remember his name either.
Yeah, I mean, he had all the equipment. He's done a lot of solar observations. He had all the filters and everything that were necessary for it. He was ready for it. He's ready for something like this, right? Boom. He was the first guy that shit canned off of there.
Yeah, of course. And that's what I'm saying. He just right there. Like if he had decided to go, they probably would have said, I don't know about this anymore.
Yeah, you got to take data, man.
We're going to bring a qualified person to do this. That don't sound too great.
Yeah. He probably wanted to check for curvature and everything. The ice should be flat.
Yeah, real experiments. Not bring some fucking, not bring some freaking Bucky's compass with him.
Yeah, he would have brought a couple lasers for sure.
Oh, wow. What is Mitt Romney admits that Israel had Congress ban TikTok to keep the American people from learning about the genocide taking place in Gaza. This is a short one. Let's see what he says. It's like 30 seconds. These people, man.
I think the ley lines play a part in this. All this.
We're your national parks. Your national parks are on the ley lines, bud.
Well, there's lots of things like that fall on the different ley lines. Yeah.
Typically, the Israelis are good at PR. What's happened here? The way this is played out on social media has dominated the narrative. The emotion, the impact of images dominates. Some wonder why there was such overwhelming support for us to shut down potentially TikTok or other entities of that nature. If you look at the postings on TikTok and the number of mentions of Palestinians relative to other social media sites, it's overwhelmingly so among TikTok. Typically, the Israelis are good at PR.
So that's, they can't have that. You can't have that. They didn't have control over that media. And that's why they had to go through another avenue like the Congress that they control to shut down TikTok. So Trump, being the uber Zionist that he is, what's his game with having it back open? You'd think that would be, in fact, well, he was the one that signed the fucking executive order to shut it down in 2020 anyways.
Well, I think it's a tool to get in with the younger folks to lead them into whatever oncoming, horrible things.
He has much said that. He has much said that because he likes TikTok because it reached so many young people. And
right, it's like his son Barron. Yeah, like Barron's real in tune with all that stuff. So,
well, if you Google something in Canada, it's not going to be quite the same, I'd imagine, as if you Google the same words in the States. Or same for Japan, Korea, I would assume. Like, they've got the internet locked down in ways that we don't really experience. Like, sure, you might have a VPN, but that's a whole other animal. Like,
VPN's not even real.
No.
Yeah. I don't know.
Let's see. There's what's this one? He says Trump is what to expect on his first day of office. You're gonna have a lot of fun. Okay, we saw that. I think
I've heard TikTok was bad. Like, it was like pornographic and really horrible.
Well, same with X. Stuff. X has that same. They all have bad stuff on Instagram.
For sure.
Well, you name it.
Yeah. There's questionable shit on all of it.
It's just a matter of who you are. That they allow certain people to do certain things and show certain. Same with YouTube.
Yeah, like be able to tell people to self-delete.
Right.
Go delete their neighbors and shit like that. And have no repercussions come from it. Jeez, how would anyone other than a fucking propped up agent of some kind be able to even get away with something like that? I could never imagine. And why would anybody even, can you imagine going on a live stream and ranting for an hour or better about such horrible things?
Especially in this day and age.
God,
that's what it was. Pop back in my head. You know what's weird about YouTube though is that you can type in any song you want, like whatever you can imagine, you can type it into YouTube and it'll come up, and it'll be some obscure user that has it, right, or whatever. Not a problem. But if I have music playing in the background, like that'd be a problem. Like so, I would be like, turn
I
that
know.
down.
Yeah, it's stupid shit about it.
What is this? Okay.
That's a copyright offense. You can't be having that.
Like, yeah,
Well,
copyright what? All someone has to
I
do
get
is type
those.
it in.
I get those fucking copyright things all the time, and I don't give a shit
Yeah,
because they don't affect me unless I'm monetized, and I'm
What
not
happened?
monetized.
What happened to
Yeah,
your
they
stream
don't
the
make
other
you
night?
clip it,
That's
or
go ahead, man. Sorry.
Oh, this stream the
I'm
other
sorry.
night. Yeah. You remember that thing I showed about the guy signing a deal with the Illuminati?
Yes.
No, but it sounds like something I should have watched. Yeah.
Anyway, that was what they banned it like in a bunch of places around the world. So it was like unlisted.
Okay. Yeah,
And
I
so
saw
I
that.
just went in and trimmed it out, and it's back up. You know, I just went in and trimmed that out. And I was like, you got to be shitting me. Why?
Yeah, because
Why? See, that's the thing is, you know, if you shut somebody up, you're only proving that you fear what they're talking about. You know, that's the only reason that you would shut anybody up. You don't want them saying what they're saying, because if what they're saying is not true, or it's just satire or something like that, then what's the fucking problem? But it's when it's over the target, and they always give themselves away by letting you know you were right over the fucking target. So you know, okay, whoa, boom, I was right on point right there, obviously, or yeah.
That's like Elon Musk too, and Trump. They're all about free speech and all. Unless you talk about them, then your free speech, you've violated those rules. You know, you can talk about anything else, but when it comes to them, you don't go crossing those lines.
Yeah, I don't see any.
Like somebody called out Musk, I guess, for being like a fake gamer or whatever, amongst all the other things that he's faking. But I guess he got banned on X. I can't remember what the guy's name was, but it's like, of all the things to ban somebody just because they asked you if you're a real gamer, you know?
Right. Yeah, it's always so telling. It's always so telling. That's why, you know, like even we've all been pretty much conditioned that if we see a fact check sticker on something, then whatever the information there is probably true. You know, that's an indicator. Oh, look, they're protesting about that. It means it's probably true. Absolutely. There's ironworks in here.
I saw you got the new world order fact check the other night.
Yeah. I was like, we didn't even really talk about
I said it. Sorry.
Yeah. It's like, and you've had these people openly come out and talk about it, you know, from the presidential podium. We have a real chance at a new world order.
Right.
You know, there's Bush himself saying the fucking shit. So what are you saying?
Bush, Biden, they all pretty much do.
Yep. Well, I'm going on 2 hours, 46 minutes. I think that's enough for a Sunday night. I'm going to kind of go around, let you all have a last word on what's going on, whatever it may be, final experiment, whatever. Go ahead and let us know. Talk it out.
I got one thing, just drones. Like before in November, I guess, I don't know when it all started for you guys, but in November I got buzzed by a couple of drones, and you know what he was dropping? He was literally bombing me. Like, I'm certain this is what happened with these foam footballs, and they said whatever internet was like a satellite internet that was coming up into the area. And then closer to around the time when they were talking about the drones and stuff, again, I seen one like locally, but
no, wait a second. These were bombing you. I don't understand. They were bombing you with footballs?
Like advertisement?
Yeah, like advertisement, like a styrofoam football. It was tripping me out.
Oh, advertisements, not really dropping footballs on you.
Styrofoam football with the name of the company on it.
They were like dropping drones on you.
Like flyers or whatever, sort of.
Yeah, like leaflets.
Huh.
That's disturbing, right? And the only other drones I've ever seen in my life is the satellite-looking guys.
Did you keep any of these things that they dropped on you?
I just gave them away. I had 3 of them for a while. I got one to the dog. He ate it.
You sure you didn't order anything on Amazon?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. There is a lot of this stuff going on, but I don't know. Definitely not what they say. That's all. Okay, I'm gonna get out of here, guys.
Have a good one, man.
See you, man. Yeah. All right. Take care, guys.
Well,
yeah, I ain't got a whole lot to say. I'm kind of sad that I didn't get to invited to any inauguration parties. So, and work
I
didn't
didn't
call.
either.
Work didn't call and cancel for the big day tomorrow. So, I'm just kind of roughing it. But
That's what my
yeah, I
friend
hope.
said, man. That's what my friend said. He's the mayor. He's the mayor of this town. And he told me, he said, he said, I had to tell Donnie, he says, you didn't come to my swearing in. He said, I'm not coming to yours.
Fair enough, right?
You're right. So
But yeah, I hope everybody has a good night and stay warm out there because it's supposedly going to be pretty damn chilly for a while, at least around here.
It's down to 24 degrees right now.
Yeah. Probably going to get lower than that here in the next
That's
day
what
or
they
two.
say. And then with a wind chill factor, they said it's going to feel like 10 to 15 below zero.
Why they even do that? It's like, just tell me what the hell it's going to be.
Yeah,
Is it going to be cold?
Well, yeah, I used to have a little wind chill chart. I don't know whatever happened to it though, but it was pretty handy. If you knew the temperature and the wind speed, it would tell you what the wind chill was. I should see if I can find one online somewhere. I'm pretty sure.
I felt that tonight. I went to the store earlier and holy crap, it was windy.
Yeah. Yeah, we got this dusting of snow earlier today. There was no wind or anything, and it was this light dusting that was coming down, but it was accumulating. And you could see it gathering on the wires and on the limbs of the trees and shit. And I was like, oh man, that's when you start having a problem. It starts getting heavy and tearing down the trees and tearing down the wires and
then the
power
ice.
outage, shit like that. Yeah. I don't know why we just don't run our fucking power lines underground, man.
Yeah, I know. You've said that before. I've heard it multiple times. It seems like a logical thing to do. They run the internet under there, right? Some of them.
Yeah, yeah. They run fiber optic cable underground.
Yeah, that's what I got.
Yeah. I worked for a company installing that shit and putting it at the different nodes and splicing it together and shit one time.
I got fiber optics. What was it last year? And the guy ended up clipping my line, so it went out like a week later. He was digging and put the line in the ground, and he must have clipped it with the shovel or something. It's like that's all the further you're going down. But anyway,
well, we had this machine, this ditch witch machine. It would dig a trench and then lay that line in the conduit right along as it was moving along and shit. And then when you'd come to the end where you'd have to join it in, cut it off, and we had a trailer like on the back of a truck. It was like a clean room inside, and they would feed the one end of the cable where they cut it in there and the other end of the cable in there, and then this guy used this little machine to splice it together so that there was no distortion where it was welded back together at, polish the ends of it and everything, and then they could continue the line. Because if you don't do that right, it'll send the signal askew and it'll fuck it all up. So it's kind of has to be really precise.
Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I thought that they would have done, is use a trencher or something. And it was like, I mean, we got some janky internet folks around here anyway, but I was like, hey, amigo, you gonna go down further than that? but yeah, he ended up clipping the line with the shovel, and like I lost it like a week later. I'm like, what the hell? I just got this stuff. But
well, that's all right. That guy will be deported tomorrow. So
yeah, sure he will. To where the next day is over.
Yeah, you're right. You just come back in. All right. Well, I think I'm going to shut it down. I think that's all we got for tonight. Just wanted to thank everybody for showing up here tonight. It's always a pleasure to have everybody and come up and have a different topics and discussions in the realm of what we're being fed as opposed to what's really going on. We here at this channel have declared war upon all forms of tyranny over the minds of men. And I intend to live up to that honor. So without any further ado, I'd like to just remind you that the Lord loves a working man. Don't trust Whitey. See your doctor and get rid of him. And if you heard the shot, it wasn't for you. We'll see you next time on Sovereign Soul, Unchained Mind. Good night, everybody.
Hey, how all you glow-tards doing? Just wanted to check in from how you were doing when you all learned about me, when you were just little wee little ones, and you were too stupid to question anything, and just wanted to check in and make sure you still believed in me. You still believe in me, right? don't, you better still believe in me. Because if you don't, I'm gonna call you names. Like, you still live in your mama's basement, and you better not breed. That's okay. I know you still believe in me.